morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm DSP, as always, and this is the Level 1 podcast. We're busy having fun down here on Level 1. Death and taxes, microtransactions. My grind flow like water, but my flow like molasses. Still swaying on that axis. Staring at the past through these rose-tinted glasses. 15 years, man, singing the same song. I did everything correct. I did nothing wrong. It's been tough finding the strength to carry on. I'll never be like Justin Wong. The drama, the bullshit, my trolls, my haters. I'm laying down the law, and I'm putting my foot down. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. The drama, the bullshit, I'm done with it. My trolls, my haters, I'm done with it. I'm just gonna live my life and have fun with it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. I'm tired of looking like dirt. Put on a crispy shirt. Take some pride in my work. Stop being a jerk. Spend some time with my wife and my son. Staying in my lane. Down here on Level 1. The truth of the matter is, I just want to have fun. I got some baked beans and a hot dog in my bun. Basking in the glow of this digital summer sun. Babe, as soon as I met you, I knew you were the one. You're like a bright ray of light on my rainy day fun. So please tip me, because super chats don't help until the end of the month. Okay? The drama, the bullshit, my trolls, my haters. I'm laying down the law, and I'm putting my foot down. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. The drama, the bullshit, I'm done with it. My trolls, my haters, I'm done with it. I'm just gonna live my life and have fun with it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. I'm tired of looking like dirt. Put on a crispy shirt. Take some pride in my work. Stop being a jerk. Spend some time with my wife and my son. Staying in my lane. Down here on Level 1.
Hello, welcome back to the Atlas stream. Sunday this time. Been a long time since we did a Sunday. Thank you all for showing up. Hopefully you enjoyed the hey, hold it down over there. Hopefully you enjoyed all of the TBS shenanigans today with the highlights and the June style interview. Of course the guy isn't here yet, so we're gonna be watching some of this Astrobot from last night because I didn't know it was possible to be that bad at a kids game, but he managed to. And just a heads up, this is not going to be a full react. This is just going to be the pre-stream because I wanted to see the merch stuff. The actual react part of it you can watch on your own or find somebody else. I'm not spending all day watching the react. I got things to do today. Here we go, Astrobot. We love this. I was surprisingly having a good time watching him be bad at this last night. It's almost a shame we got to leave so early. I need to show up to TBS more.
Straight. I'm above it. It hits me out of the air.
Flat.
What the hell?
Work with other people.
He shoots up. Do you see that?
Yeah. So this is the second time he's played that, and I just can't imagine how the first playthrough went, given how he's playing it now. If that makes sense. Like, you see him play the same stage over and over and over again, and he doesn't actually seem to get any better at them. He doesn't seem to find the route that works every time.
Clear Redfield. Chris assistant.
Is this game glazed? Last night was the first time I'd ever seen anybody actually play it. Yo, Lily Pan Fran, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate it. Couldn't stop laughing when he kept dying in those challenge levels.
Fragile Frenzy.
I didn't know that those were challenge levels. I thought that was just the way the game was laid out.
Can't wait for more rage.
I thought all the levels looked like that. Like this one here again.
Spanish. What the?
Like that. You can very clearly like. I'm not gonna act like everybody's supposed to know this, but as an avid gamer, you would think that DSP would be able to see the texture on this on these platforms here and see that they're fragile. The stage is literally called Fragile Frenzy. And he doesn't stop to think, not for 1 second, that these are going to play any sort of extra emphasis on the level. We're just going to continue to treat them like normal.
What the?
And then be surprised when they break out from under us. As if that wasn't clearly indicated. Thank you, Smoke One Mo Gaming, for the 5 months. Pig ups Atlas. Pig ups to you, brother. Thank you. And Conqueror of Iberia for the 5 months. Imagine calling a children's game challenging the Dark Souls of children's games. Yes, quickly to dethrone Kirby Souls, of course. Now think Kirby Souls and make it a robot. That's basically what we're dealing with here. Let me check on the guy. Yo, he's here. Let's go. And we got a little bit of skip juice. Okay, all right. There he is.
On today's show, we're taking a step back to calm down, relax, have a nice day of normalcy. And what I mean by that is, today we're going to be talking about a lot of positive stuff. I'm going to be doing a gaming schedule update where we're going to be going through all of the game releases
positive.
For the rest
A schedule
of the year,
update. You love to see
or
it.
at least those that have solid release dates. And we're going to be looking at the ones that I'm most interested in, that you will know what games I'm playing and when to tune in. Also, I'm excited to announce that I have received some merchandise samples from a company that I've been in talks with over the last couple of weeks about the possibility of making me some merch again for the first time in many, many years. And so what we're going to do today is sit down and take a look at this and see what you guys think. Obviously, I want to get some public opinion on
we'll have opinions. Don't worry about it. Everybody's going to have an opinion.
We'll talk about the week coming up and everything. It's going to be a nice, relaxing, normal, calm podcast day. Alrighty then. All this and more on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. 18th of September 2024, React
You're welcome.
Day.
I saved all of you the trouble.
I take
You're
a day
welcome.
away from gameplay, excuse me, to do some different kind of stuff. Reacting to some clips that you guys submitted over on the DSP Reacts channel for my show. DSP
Yes,
versus
incredibly
Internet.
different. Reacting to
later
clips
tonight,
like you do every
very
week.
laid back,
Nobody saw
interactive,
that
and
one
chill
coming.
stream where we go back to the past of my content creation from way back when, where in a retro react stream, I'll be reacting to my Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut playthrough from PS1 from way back in 2013. So a good day of different style of content, right? And that's a good thing to break it up a little bit. I've now been doing 3 straight days of gameplay.
Wow. Yo, 3 days of gameplay as of late is like it's an anomaly because he's been doing all those interviews. You guys remember when 3 days of gameplay was normal? You guys remember we were doing 5 days of gameplay? Crazy.
It's always good to mix it up.
That could never happen
and quite
now.
honestly, I'm glad that today is going to be a much more chill, interactive podcast stream. And what I mean by that, I don't have any kinds of dramatic topics to talk about today. We've got no interviews lined up for today. Today is going to be a day of kind of sitting back and saying,
Does Phil look
let's just
hungover?
enjoy each other's company.
No more than normal,
Let's chill
I
a
wouldn't
bit,
say.
Right? Let's have a more metered approach to content creation. I've been getting some feedback recently. Some people really like me talking about detractors and drama and things like that. And others don't. And I get it because, I feel like we got to find that happy medium. Right, we got to find.
He must have finally seen the replies he was getting on Twitter
so
or
that
something.
You guys are entertained, but it's not too much. It's not over the top cringe. All right,
because people have been telling him in his chat for a little while now.
There's stuff I could be talking about today, right now. Stuff that the people who are the drama hounds were like, oh yeah, let's get to it. But
I don't remember.
I think today we want to definitely take the step back and just kind of relax, rather than keep leaning into it as hard as I have been, particularly. This week. So I think it's time to chill with Phil, here on the Level 1 podcast. Now, if you're okay with that, stick around and welcome. If you're not okay with that and you're upset, sorry, don't worry. I'm sure there's going to be some coming up. In fact, like I said, there's stuff that will be build. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I said, that kind of stuff is for when there's really nothing going on, and you want to have content, but then you lean into it. It's not something that you do every single day, because then it becomes all encompassing, right?
So he's supplementing his gameplay with the interview and drama style content. Okay, when it's downtime, yeah, he did it during his most busy time of the year or whatever, the hardcore style gaming season that we're coming into, with games being released every single week, or so he says.
It becomes the end.
That makes sense to me. No, that's all checking out. I like this logic.
I don't want that to happen. I want
just do the exact opposite of what you say. I like it.
16 years, loving games, chilling and relaxing, and having a good interaction with all of you every day, without having that negative element all the time. Not to say that it's not fun to do it every once in a while. I do, actually. Like I said, right now there's two different things going on that absolutely I could talk about this entire show, but nah,
thank God you
too
don't
heavy into it, because then it becomes too much. So
another episode all about LTG might actually drive me over the breaking point.
I'll welcome you back when I get back to that stuff. Okay, cool. All right. By the way, I'm sure people will be bringing it up. I'm sure today there's going to be people asking questions or saying, hey, did you hear about this? Or what about this? I got, and that's fine.
Did you hear June was on TBS? I'm ready for it, you guys.
Understand that I'm not going heavily into it today whatsoever. All right. It's not off limits for discussion. It's just, I have other things to do that I feel are just a lot more interesting and important to cover, gaming first, right? Okay. Oh no, again, CJ Johnson, he says, so there's no drama to talk about? No, there's tons. Like, no lie, there's actually tons. Stuff is happening.
I think it was Pederton Sin said he's really low energy right now. I wonder if he watched TBS.
So silly. They publicly announce things stupidly instead of just doing them and keeping them behind the scenes like they should. They publicly announce everything because they're doing it for attention. You see, like me, I told you guys, I've been reaching out to a whole bunch of people across the internet to see if they want to come and be a part of my content, whether it's for collabs, whether it's for an interview on the show. Have I told you all the people who I've messaged in our conversations?
No.
Of course not.
I don't think you've told us many at all, aside from Wings.
You keep that stuff behind the scenes, under wraps, until it's going to happen. And then you say, hey, guys, so just so you know, now this is happening, and here we go. These people, they just can't keep their lips shut about stuff. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, no, I'm not talking about anyone in particular, because I guess someone, literally, as I was saying this, someone just said in chat, Wings on level 1 soon, he confirmed. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, is he sneak dissing Wings of Redemption? No, I'm not. That's actually not what I'm addressing.
Then why are you bringing this up? Real talk. Why does he want to have this conversation with all these vague details where he's not willing to name drop anybody, but he wants to shit on somebody for revealing something too early? Like, what are we doing here, Bappa? What's the plan? We're just gonna sit here and bitch and moan and complain about something and be as vague as possible?
Is people like they blab about stuff. Like the dumbest stuff publicly.
Shout out blabs, of course.
Important.
These kids, they're
yapping. I sent someone a DM. That's your topic for today? Really? You see, even think about that. What? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about? But anyway. All right. So we'll get to these topics today as appropriate. But like I said, this is not the focus of my stuff today. I have other things to do that are going to be way more positive and fun, okay?
Please. Because I'm here for the merch. I want to see what the new merch is going to look like.
Exactly. Huh?
I want to know who to target IRL.
Huh?
Jokes, of course.
Wait, someone is like bragging about sending someone a DM? Yes. But it's neither here nor there. Like I said, it's not what I want to talk about today. Okay. So before we get started, because we have a few things to do, I want to recap what we did yesterday and where we are with all our current games that we're playing. Because I want people to have an update. All right,
my favorite part, the recap.
What's interesting right now.
Because the daily wrap doesn't exist, of course.
The merch, we'll look at the merch that has showed up, and then we'll do the gaming schedule update, okay? I have a couple shout-outs to do, and I just want to say, everyone, thank you so much. King Streak at 9 and continuing. 9 straight streams yet again, where we are crushing it and hitting the King's Tips goal every single stream. It's amazing because, again, we were at 41, and then it ends because of Black Myth Wukong. And I said to everyone, yeah, but I don't feel like the positivity has ended. I just think it was the game. And the thing is, I think we will have those blips where we'll have a day where there's nothing really going on, or a game is underwhelming.
People
everyone
have
leaves.
blips
There's nothing you can really
confirmed.
do about
Okay.
that except come back strong again, which is exactly what I did. And now here we are. Boom. Yesterday, we actually had a feasting with the king. This awesome Mediterranean food platter that I ate that was super good, and we had fun discussion.
Again, though,
while
that's an incredibly undeserved feasting with the king. Not that I think anybody deserves that. That's just bad for you. But again, undeserved because the prerequisite was not met. He did not hit the streak consistently like he literally said that had to be done. He just went back on his word so that he could do it anyway. Not that I have an issue with that. Just don't fucking lie about it.
That video is over on DSP Reacts if you want to watch it. A huge gyro, or as they say, Ito. That's how you actually pronounce it, like Ito. And it was super good.
Never heard it pronounced like that in my entire life.
If you haven't yet, people love watching it and making fun of how I eat, saying that I look like I'm weird when I eat. So there you go. So anyway, now, today,
all right, right now,
we got some good stuff going on, and I'm hoping we can keep the king streak going. All right. I've always said that this entire time it was happening over the last month, because now it's been almost pretty much a month that this.
Yeah, he did make it sound Asian style there, Greg
Sunday, I'm the most nervous
it did sound like he was putting an Asian fusion flair on it.
Content. It's not that I don't think that this is entertaining and people like it and will support it. It's that Sunday is my day away from my normal routine. I break off from doing gameplay and the like to do a react show, and it's a different audience. I feel like a lot of the people who watch my clip show or hang out with me for the retro replay on Sunday nights is not the regular audience that comes by and maybe listens to the podcast or watches me game on my regular streams. It's a different audience, and you know that's good and bad. You know, I definitely
his ever rotating audience members, of course. It's been a while.
With all the stuff
Welcome back.
month, right? When I was like big spike in popularity, even the Sundays were still slow when it came to like attendance and stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Is he surprised by that, though? Like, people are doing things on a Sunday, I would imagine.
It has continued. Like, Sunday, it was not what killed it. It was Black with Wukong, of all things. So today, if you enjoy the content, if you're happy that we're being more relaxed, more focused on games today for the podcast, and then chill stuff for the React stuff, please support the streams, all right? And you know how to do it. You know, liking the stream is a huge help, so please like the stream if you haven't yet. Let's get it up to 100 likes. Right now, we're currently at 36. Let's get that to 100 likes. We've got 250 viewers and climbing. So let's get that to 100 likes. The engagement, again, helps tremendously on this channel, so please do so. And
I like that at some point during this arc, we went back to begging for likes. I don't quite remember exactly when that happened, but I do love to see it back.
Keep the King Streak going, so if you like the content, please support it.
There was a while where we didn't even bother.
Shout outs to do for tips this morning, and then we're going to get into the meat of the show, okay? So we started off with a $2 tip. This person says, you know, I've never played a Warhammer game before, and I'm curious. Is it worth getting? Is it fun? And do you need to know anything about lore before you would actually, like, buy a Warhammer game? Well, I've only played 2 Warhammer games. The first was Space Marine 1, which was in 2011, right? Like, super long ago. And then, of course, we got this current one that I'm playing right now. And I mean,
and my favorite part about watching DSP's gameplay of this new Space Marine game is people trying to like handhold him through how the universe like exists, how it works, all of the little lore tidbits, but like as brief as possible so they can fit it in the messages. And then him reading it just to go, oh, cool, that's neat.
If you want
that's my favorite part.
I don't think any prerequisite knowledge.
Yo, thank you, Crazy Poro.
Really necessary to play
for joining the 60 Skulls for 1 month.
Easy time just jumping in and
big ups, Atlas. Thanks for the coverage.
Like,
big ups to you, brother.
You know, getting it. At the same time, I do have a live audience, and they're awesome, and they try to explain elements of the game to me.
See, there you
as
go.
I'm playing it.
That's
like,
that's the best part.
The whole lore of how these Space Marines and humanity is in the Warhammer universe, and that they're almost like a cultish religion where it's like you believe what we believe. If you don't, you're our enemy, you're a heretic, right? And how there's different factions within that are doing things. Like yesterday, we encountered a group that are involved with chaos, right? I don't know what that is, and the game honestly hasn't really explained it, but my audience is like, oh no, you see, chaos is like this alternate dimension, almost like hell. And people dabble in it, and whenever they have an interaction with it, they kind of get corrupted by it, and then they become part of that group, and then they fight the other humans. Okay, well now I get it. The
I
game
mean,
didn't
yeah,
really
that's
explain
layman's
all of
terms.
that,
There you
but
go.
having
You
that
seem to get the information. I'm kind of
alternate
impressed.
explanation has helped a ton, and it makes the game more enjoyable, right? So yeah, I would say if you have, a source of lore available, like, if you have a website or some kind of a resource where you can look that stuff up as you're playing the game, it'll probably make the game better, right? Because you'll
Just have the
understand better
wiki
what's
up,
going on.
stupid.
But
Maybe
for the
you'll
most
understand
part, I think
something
it would
for
still be an
once.
enjoyable game, even if I didn't understand the lore. Like Space Marine 2 plays like Gears of War, but it has a better
Hey,
melee
good morning,
combat
Kanye.
system, right? And it's a throwback is really what it is. It plays like 10 years,
Yes, a
well, actually, what
throwback
was it,
to the
13
41st millennium, of course. What he failed to mention during the chaos thing, and it just came to my mind, when chaos was being introduced because he didn't know anything about them, and people were being called heretics left and right. He was almost trying to defend like chaos as not being as bad as you would think it would be, because the Imperium is cult like as well, beings that it is the Warhammer universe, like I'd never thought that I'd heard somebody actually try and defend chaos, which is just objectively bad pretty much on all fronts, but DSP
years ago.
managed
Yeah,
it.
geez, it was
Very
2011.
cool. It's like
The Space
defending
Marine
Derek.
1 came out,
You never
right?
thought you'd see someone
At
take
that
that stance,
time,
and then you do.
we were in the height of Gears of War's popularity. We were still in the original trilogy of Gears of War before it got sold off, right? So in that time frame, to have a game like Space Marine come out, but it played like Gears of War, people liked it because it was Warhammer, but I feel like it didn't necessarily get as much focus or attention as it would have if it wasn't in the midst of the actual Gears games being out, right? So now fast forward 13 years later and Space Marine 2 is out.
I'll be honest with you. I
The
think
game
Space Marine 1
feels
was
like
a
a
little
throwback.
mid.
It feels
I
like
don't
there
I
are
think
no
it got
games like this
exactly as
anymore,
much
because there
love
hasn't been a
as it
Gears of War game in
deserved.
like 5 years, right? There aren't these team-based shooter style games out anymore. Instead, everything went open world, and you have to explore a ginormous map with 400 points of interest and 700 side missions that are all boring and grindy and stupid. Games really went that way last console gen. So to play a game like this, it's more on rails. It's more about surviving waves of enemies and doing objectives with some lore and story tied in. It actually feels
It's far
refreshing.
less
In
skill
some
based.
cases, less is more. And in the case of
Kind of
Space Marine 2,
streamlined.
that's
He literally
definitely
called it on
the
rails.
situation. Because it's scaled back and plays more like a basic game than we're used to, it actually is fun and it works. And I think that more game devs should maybe look at this formula and be like, there was nothing wrong with yesteryear. It's just that people wanted more because they said, oh, consoles are advancing, PCs are advancing. Why can't we have bigger open world games? So then everyone made one. But now that's kind of played out. We kind of want to go back maybe to the formulas that worked and we really enjoyed, right? And that's what Space Marine 2 feels like.
So you're gonna like it if you like it?
No, you don't need prerequisite knowledge, but if you
Ow.
have a source of lore or something you can draw upon,
Why does it sound
get
like
more
that?
information as you're playing, it'll probably enhance your experience. But for me, I'm
What the
really
fuck
liking
was
the
he
game, and I don't
touching?
really understand half the lore, and I'm still liking it. It's
'Cause
still
that
great,
was not-
good
that wasn't
graphics,
on my
good, solid
behalf.
gameplay elements, interesting, gameplay. When it comes to like these new enemies, I just ran into the new enemy type yesterday.
no way.
It's really cool.
Ain't no
So,
fucking way.
good experience for me. All right, cool. By the way,
the Deep Fryer with the 5. Phil, it wasn't me who killed the streak. It was the currently massive hit Monkey game. Such felted reasoning. Absolutely, dude. Everybody made how much money streaming Wukong when it came out, but the fact that DSP had one bad day was enough for him to justify calling the game terrible and saying that everybody else was overhyping the game and it's not as good as they say. Sure, Phil, it totally wasn't you. Of course not. Thank you for the 5. And Shades Argucci with the 10. I hate he's calling it like a Gears game. It doesn't have a cover system, doesn't have the timed reloads, and is much more hack and slash. It's literally just a third-person shooter. I'm disappointed to hear that it doesn't have a cover system. I actually thought that it did. And now that you say that, I haven't seen them ever be in cover, so I guess that was a stupid assumption. Thank you for the information. That actually changes it a lot. And thank you for the 10. I appreciate it.
from what I don't understand, Space Marine 2 is really a co-op game. Like, I'm playing it solo, but it's designed to be a co-op game with two other people. That's why it has a whole online missions system that are based around co-op. So you know, if you're getting it, you might want to understand that really you're going to get your bang for your buck if you have friends to co-op in it. If you don't, I mean, people are saying the campaign's like 10 hours long. So you might just beat the campaign and be like, now what do I do? Right? You don't want to be stuck like that. So just so you know what you're getting into. Okay.
Another
Okay.
game that's
Now I received,
actually
a
worse
dollar
because
tip here
DSP doesn't have friends. Imagine that.
from Squirting Clown Diarrhea. All right, great. All right, so that person's back. All right, anyway, thanks for the dollar tip. All right. So let's get to our topics at hand. First topic today.
Thank God. Here we go.
Is I just want to briefly recap where we are with all the
What
games
in
that
the
I'm currently
goddamn?
playing, so that you guys know what's going on. And
Didn't
what's
we
on the
just do
horizon.
that?
The good news is
What
right
the
now I have no
fuck?
plans to do anything new for over a week. The next new thing that's coming out that I'm interested in jumping into is Terry Bogard, the next expansion character for Street Fighter 6. I will be checking him out when he releases. I will be playing with him, seeing online how he plays, and I'll determine if I like him enough that I want to try to get him to master rank or not. Okay, right now I'm interested in him. I like Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury / King of Fighters. I've played with him before, so I understand his elements of how to use him. But I'm not sure how he's going to translate into
Penitence, I'm
Street
starting to
Fighter.
think that exact thing. I'm starting to think I
For
did pick the
me,
wrong one.
I would sure like a character that has a good reversal wake up so I can like get out of the corner. Like every character, just think about this. I play with Dalsim. I play with Honda.
A fucking
play
Street
with
Fighter
Zangief,
segment. God.
right? Lily.
Talk about an L.
Blanca.
Oh yeah, you know what?
and
Skip juice.
Bison,
You're right. I got a
right?
little bit.
So best would be Blanca, but easily either doesn't have a good reverse. Sure would be great to have a character rising tackle and it blows through the advantage against Rushdown. At the end of the month, I may be checking.
Because I
out a
don't
few
like
other
every
things,
time we
but
skip,
that's
I
pretty
don't
much
know
the
anything
schedule
he's
for
talking
now,
about.
Okay, so just FYI, that's the plans.
That's the plan though. Sounds good.
So I'm focusing on the stuff I'm focusing on right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing for about a week and a half until this happens. So what is that? Well, number one, the Marvel vs. Capcom collection came out a few days ago.
God damn
And
it.
I played it for 2 straight days, and I liked it, but there's some issues with the collection that definitely need addressing. Number one,
What are
undoubtedly,
they?
is the matchmaking. It just
Hell
doesn't
yeah,
work
dude.
right. You're supposed to be able to jump in and either get a casual match or a ranked match. You're supposed to be able to make a lobby, and the stuff doesn't really work. Like, it's completely hit or miss if you can get a match or not, which is hilarious because you know thousands of people bought this on PC. At one point, they were saying over 5,000 people had bought it on launch day. So why doesn't this thing
Wow,
find
big
anything,
numbers,
right?
5,000.
Like sometimes you'll go and immediately you'll find a match, no problem. And another time you'll go to find a match and you'll sit there for 10
Is
minutes.
it just
and
me
can't
or
find
is that
anyone.
incredibly
What?
low?
And especially does it make sense because it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the game most people want to play because it's the most recent one in the collection, but it's the one that works the worst. You just can't find consistent matches. So that's frustrating. Here's everyone thinking, oh, free MvC2.
I thought that sounded low. When games are out here selling hundreds of thousands of copies, 5K seems really
it's
low.
not really working. It's like, well, how do you F that up so bad? You knew there was massive hype for this and it could reinvigorate the fighting game community in a way that hasn't been, addressed in a decade. And then you botch it? Yeah, they botched it. I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. It's a really botched launch. They've effed it up. I don't know how they did it so bad.
They lost their way. I can tell you, DSP, they lost their way.
But
these shitty game devs and their fucking rollback netcode, dude.
Now,
Nothing you
the other
could do.
problem with that collection is, quite frankly, those games were not built for online rollback netcode. All right. There's times when
I fucking called it. I don't even know how.
Anyone who's doing like Rushdown,
I was just guessing.
You'll try to
I was making shit up,
and the game just will give up and make you take a hit. It's just dumb. Like, no, I'm not kidding you. There were times I'm just sitting there, just holding back or down back, and the game just gave up, and I took a hit and got a comboed, and I'm like, wait, I'm not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what is going on here. There's times I'm on the character select screen, and this happened a ton of times. I'm on the character select screen. I go to a character and I push the button. Nothing happens at all. You dropped my input picking my character. And that happened a bunch.
If the fucking character select screen is dropping your inputs, I don't know what else to tell you, man. I really don't. You'll find a way to complain about anything dropping your input at that point.
That wasn't like, oh, a one-off thing. It kept happening. And I'm like, dude.
You'd think with how many games that have dropped his inputs and had input reading issues throughout his gaming career, if you're willing to call it that he'd have fucking realized by now that it's all on him.
Terrible.
Every game can't be fucking broken like this.
Bad that you can't pick a fucking character. Like, huh? So, I'm sorry, but that's just not a good sign of a well-made collection, or they're using the same rollback netcode, and it doesn't work with this game. I'm sorry.
Just doesn't work.
I just find it very, very frustrating, okay, that people don't address this shit. How are you not going to admit that the games aren't built for this and act like this is, I mean, is it the best collection of this so far? It probably is. I remember trying to play the MvC collection from over a decade ago, and every match was like you were playing underwater. It was slow-mo, everything was delayed. That was delay-based netcode. So at least now when you're playing, it's a semblance of that it's working. But dude,
he's still gonna bitch about it the whole fucking time, all day long, every day.
Like, fuck this. It's just too frustrating to get so many dropped inputs in a game that requires precision. And once again, this netcode 100% favors a certain style of play, constant rushdown. Because if you're constantly rushing down,
I'm so tired of this shit, dude.
So it thinks, oh, you're just going to keep pushing
Fighting
buttons.
games need to get sent to ban world so I can stop hearing this.
Block on reaction or quickly do a move to blow through the rushdown, it'll drop that input.
Just unsubstantiated bullshit, dude.
That style of play. So if you're a rushdown beast, okay,
I will keep seething, Slatteron. I will.
Yeah, because no one can block
Fighting games
are
for losers.
Because you're such fucking god to gaming. It's because the game isn't working right, so you can't defend against it. I mean, there were people back in the day who were very defensive. They were very hard to break their armor. So rushdown didn't work against them. Now it doesn't matter. Like you can't stop the rushdown online, especially because you got teleporting and shit too.
Whoa, teleporting in a fighting game? Never heard of that before.
The characters are just like, well, I'll give you an example. So I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 1. And there's unblockables in that game. As a character is coming in, if you beat their first character and their second character is coming in, you can jump and hit them with something. And if they block it, okay, now when their block releases in midair, they can't block again. So it's you create an unblockable.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
He's in the air.
Okay, he's in the air. Well, then we're like, what the fuck is that?
Completely unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. In the air? Can you believe it?
Play it online.
But that's how it is.
When it want to be cheated out of competitive play,
he was in the air cheating in competitive play. You guys, come on.
Kinds of buffering, and you know
there was buffering. How is the guy ever supposed to win like this? I like piecing the story together.
Like this to be successful, they have to fix it right away. And just so everyone knows, they did actually go up on social media like a day ago, and they posted up, "We are acknowledging that there is an issue."
Okay, they are going to fix it though.
But
that's what and that's why I like to sit through segments like this, because through all of his bitching, through all of the nonsense examples that he had to run through, it really all boils down to they've already acknowledged that there's issues and they're going to be working on it, so he's just waiting for a patch. But he felt the need to get on and tell you for about 10 fucking minutes all about all of the issues. Very cool.
Anything yet, to my knowledge, there's been no patch or anything. So here you are. It came out Thursday. It's Sunday. And you haven't even done, done anything yet. You know what I'm talking about? So hopefully,
like he just wanted to get on stream and complain.
A solution for this, because I want to play it more, but I'm going to be honest, it's making me not want to play it.
Then don't. Then just wait for the patch, like a bunch of other people are going to be doing.
It's just going to frustrate me. I want to put out an entertaining stream, and I can't do that if we're playing the waiting game, right? And of course, some people are like, well, go back to Street Fighter 6. I'm like, well, I don't want to go back to Street Fighter 6 right away. We're playing that on the 24th when Terry Bogard comes out. So I don't want to go back to
But do I know what he's talking about?
Right
Unfortunately, I have enough information. I'm willing to say yes.
Matches, So anyway, I'm going to continue to play the MvC collection. I am playing it more later this week, actually. I think we're playing it, excuse me, Thursday night. I think we're going to play it Thursday night. Okay? All right, now.
All right.
Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I think I've already spoken to it, so I don't really need to talk about it again. I do like the game. It's a total throwback. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 5.5 hours, 6 hours into the campaign. I was told the campaign's about 10 hours long. I don't know if that entails 1 or 2 more streams for me. I'm thinking probably 2, right? I'm probably thinking
that's an incredibly short game, actually.
Tomorrow, and then I'll probably play it again like Thursday.
Because I seen they had like a season pass, and they were they had like a roadmap or something. I need to look into how that's actually working. As someone who doesn't own the game,
I might beat the campaign then, right? Now, as for online co-op, I don't think I'm gonna be doing it. I made it clear for everyone that I was gonna play this game as a single player offline campaign. I wasn't really interested in the online co-op grinding stuff. So probably that'll be the extent of it for me, but it's been great and I can't wait for more. And Astrobot also, it's a delightful platformer. It really feels kind of like the same vein as Super Mario 3D Land, 3D World, or Odyssey. Tons of optional content that make the game way more challenging if you're going for 100%. But if you're just cruising through the worlds, it's a delight. You know, the music and everything.
Talking about Astrobot,
it's been quite good. So I really like the game. I'm looking forward to more, and I'm actually playing that again as the main stream on Tuesday. And people are saying it's around like 15 to 20 hours long, depending on how much content you do. Well, I'm only like 5 hours in. So I definitely have a ways to go in that one. That's going to be one that I'll be juggling around for a bit, for a couple of weeks, probably at least. Okay.
okay,
Cool.
sounds
so
good.
by the way, all
Thanks
the
for the
gameplay of all that is
update,
live on the
I
channel. We had
guess.
2 straight days of MvC2 collection. We got new
I'm
gameplay
the
of
person who
Warhammer
needed it.
that
I
went
didn't
live
get to finish
overnight, and we have
the
new
raw stream of
Astrobot gameplay that
Astrobot.
went live overnight.
Like I was
So
ever
it
going
took
to
a
do
little
that
bit
though.
longer to get that gameplay up, and the reason being because yesterday I went later to do the feasting with the king episode, and then by the time I went offline, which was almost 5 p.m., there's no way I was going to get all that gameplay and the podcast and the feasting episode all uploaded within 2 hours. It wouldn't even upload that fast. So I said I'll hold off on the gameplay, and then I uploaded all the gameplay overnight. But now what happened is the channel got bombarded with videos. So now people are probably like, oh, why do you upload 5 gameplay videos plus all the highlights plus all this at once? But what was I going to do? Right, not much I can do. Today, this channel will have no real new content besides this podcast. You know, this today's React Day. So hopefully today we'll give everyone a chance to come to the channel and get kind of caught up on everything. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. Today's the catch-up day. For anybody who didn't see the gameplay that wants to, now's your time.
Cool.
All right. DSP's made you a day. Because there's so many of you out there.
That's what's going on with all the games I'm currently playing.
I want to take a little venture over to DSP Space Gaming to look at the views.
After that happens, the question is what's next?
Because there's so many people that need to catch up
in a minute, because we're going to go through a gaming schedule update. We're actually going to look at the rest of the year, and we're going to see what games are coming out that you guys can know what.
So real quick, not to derail too much and not to fuck the whole stream up with an overlay here. Here's DSP's videos. You can't see all of them, but you can see that not a single one of these on your screen has over 1,000 views. Oh, look, there you go, right there. DSP and Jin the King talk about wings. It's one of those clips he's always on about. Look at that. But you gotta go back. Oh, 2 days ago. Look at that. Look at that. 1.5K. It's another one of those clips. I guess they really are working for the channel, you guys. He's onto something. Who would have thought?
What to expect here on the channel, and I'm actually doing this directly.
Yeah, he is cloud chasing off of wings in the title.
Someone said, "Hey, you know what?"
Well, it was the same thing with the Ethan Ralph clip at 1.5. I'm so sorry. At 1.5K.
That's a good point. It's been probably months.
It's just drama shit.
Like this. That's why we're doing this today. It makes sense to do it and put it. I'll do it as a highlight. That's a separate video, so people can check out just that video if they want to see for the rest of 2024 what I'm going to be playing. Okay. But before we get to that, I would like to get to our next topic. All right. And our next topic today is a very positive one, a very fun one. Now,
please,
we have over 300 viewers on the stream, everybody.
Oh, we gotta get a bag in
You're chilling,
first.
you're enjoying the chill vibes today. Please like the stream. We're at 56 likes. Let's get that to 100. I know we can get 100 likes easily. That helps the channel tremendously. Getting this engagement has been great. So please like the stream. Excuse me. Outside of that, please support the content. Super chats, memberships.
Man, I really wish we could have just went into the topic instead of a bag.
No super chats, no memberships of any kind. And we had 2 small tips amounting to $3. I actually did not update this. It's $3. Today, we obviously want to keep the King streak alive. It would be great if we could actually hit the King's Tips goal.
Oh my God, bro. Get to the topic.
Like I said, if it's going to end this streak, I think it would end on a Sunday, like a React Day. I really feel
he says this every fucking Sunday now. It's so lame.
If you like this stuff, please support it. Let's get some support going now so that we can roll into the React show positively. All right? All right, so
here we go.
On to the next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been around for 16 years. In the 16 years that I've been a content creator, I've had many different generations of people who have liked my content. And I've actually gone through many different companies and stuff in regards to making merch and the like. Ages ago, I used to use this website called Cafe Press.
Okay? You guys remember Cafe Press?
And then the wasn't Cafe
Press the one that had the DSP thongs or whatever? You guys remember those when we seen those on WPIG during Act the King? We went on the Wayback Machine. Was that Cafe Press? I want to say that it was.
Which now they're not even called that anymore. They rebranded to call themselves Spring, and then they changed their entire methodology of their site to be political. I hate to say that, but they did because of what happened to me. I know for a fact. So I've had
Oh,
merch over
yeah,
the
they
years.
went
In
full
reality,
political
I've
because
never
they got
actually
rid
had
of the
any
guy,
merchandise
of
to make money.
course.
The reason that I originally started getting merch back in the day is because people kept asking me for it. They were like, Phil, would you have merchandise for your fans? Because we'd maybe like a collectible of something of our favorite content creator. And I was actually resistant to it at first, but then people kept pressing me on it and said, we would just really like it. I said, all right. So I went to this Cafe Press website and I had merchandise that was like some basic t-shirts, some mugs, stickers, and stuff like that. I even still
Yeah,
have a
Chody, what was
Stein
your
that has the old
methodology
Dark Side
when
Phil logo
putting
and
your
everything
merch
on
together,
it
Phil?
downstairs. I still have it in my cabinet in my kitchen cupboard. So it was cool, but I never really sold too much of it. I think there was like one burst of sales. Like I'm talking, this is like back in 2010 or something like that. Okay.
Hmm.
And then after that, I never really maintained it that much. I think someone actually hacked the site at one point, so I ended up just closing the whole thing. Like I didn't work on it. I didn't add new products. It just sat there. Okay, I didn't even advertise it that much ever.
Imagine that, another project that DSP put out there and then never actually put any effort into and just eventually abandon it to just receive little residual funds here and there.
Okay, when I
Again, just
really got
typical the
into
guy
merch,
behavior.
the second time was when I became a full-time live streamer in 2017. Because at that point, I became a lot more social with the audience and people wanted to hang out with me more and have conversations. And because of that, they liked the content. They were like, hey, it would be great if you had merch. And at first, once again, I'm kind of resistant because I don't really know how it's going to work. Teespring reached out to me. Okay. This company actually contacted me and said, hey, we see that you're a full-time streamer now. We know who you are. We know about your audience. We know that they want merch and we'd like to make a shop for you and basically design products. And they did. They actually designed several different products, one of which was the I'm pushing buttons design, which is just like random directions and buttons that looks like it's like the readout from a fighting game, right? So that was one that they made. They made a couple. They made 2 or 3 different designs for me. But the I'm pushing buttons one was the only one that people ever liked and it like sold. But then what it is, I gave them
So then why didn't he come up with other designs that people would actually like is my biggest question. Like the generic fucking I'm pushing buttons was his biggest seller and nobody else was interested in anything else, and you should probably work on it. Maybe you should figure out what your audience actually fucking enjoys about your content and cash in on it in the form of merch instead of just this random generic shit that you let other people put together for you. I just don't understand his mentality. It's the laziest way possible. Stroyer with the 5. I love 40k and it hurt to watch him play this game at all. I had to click off after 3 minutes. There is a special ring in Slanesh's realm for his bag. Good. Good. That's exactly what it is he deserves. It's his own realm for his begging. Yeah, listening to him talk about 40k stuff was kind of wild. A little surreal, actually.
some
Thank you for the
logos
5,
that I had
brother.
from over the years.
I know I
and
was
other
way
people
late on that.
designed things for me, and I put them up on the site. And I had various levels of success. I think the most successful one I ever had was the logo with the king. It was like a skull with a crown on it. And I did various different colors and designs. People like to buy different shirts and stuff with that design. People really liked certain designs that the fans had submitted and stuff. So again, the only reason I ever really had the Teespring was because it was requested. I didn't make a lot of money on it. I actually had pricing. If I remember, I would
He
try to
never made
price my
money on the
shirts to be
merch,
around
you guys.
$20,
This is his
and the
favorite
profit
lie.
margin was like $1 to $2 per shirt, depending on the quality of the shirt you selected. So I made nothing on it. Like I think the highest month ever, I made like $300, and that was like because there was real demand. And then after that, it just petered right off, and I made like $10 a month, if that.
That's still $10 a month, though. To say that I didn't make anything off of it, but then still actually be selling it for profit, it's just a lie you don't have to tell. To say that you didn't make much, to say that you didn't really notice it afterwards is completely fine. Just don't say that you made literally fucking nothing on it to say that you were still making profits. I just don't know why you have to lie like that. And he says it was only $300 during the initial peak or whatever. That's still $300 fucking dollars you didn't have, boss. Just be a little more grateful is all I ask.
On it moving forward. So it was never a big deal to me or anything like that. So after a while, I'll be honest, it got dusty. It fell into disrepair, much
BBJ's
like
vet bill.
my
This is
other
what we're
merch
here
shop
for.
did.
We want the
Didn't
merch.
really talk about it that much. And
it's
then one
the
day,
special part of today.
about 3 years ago, I even forget if it was 2021 or 2022, but it was the same year that the whole thing happened with Returnal, where I quit. I quit Twitch. When was that? What year was Returnal?
Ah, yes, Returnal, where
Dude,
he
time
quit
flies.
Twitch
Let me
after
see.
he was removed from the partner program for saying slurs.
It was 2021. Holy shit! It was 3 years ago. So that same year that I was playing Returnal, because I always remember that because it was when everything hit the fan all at once. One day I'm streaming and someone says to me, "Hey Phil, are you aware that your merch shop is gone?" And I was like, "No," because I never check it. Like I literally never check the thing because no one buys anything from it and I don't really add new products. So I didn't know that. So I go to look at it and it is gone. It's just like missing, like page not found. So I go to log in
And isn't that strange? This is Mr. fucking emails, Mr. I'm a professional YouTuber. I'm a business style. I have my degree and all of that nonsense, but he's not checking his Teespring store. He's not updating any of that so that he can continue to make money and have a different revenue stream coming in. He's just letting it go by the wayside and not even bothering while the rest of his business was actively failing and his numbers were down. You would think that he would try and cash in on that at least a little more to help soften the blow of his channel dying, but he couldn't even be fucking bothered, bro.
says, "Oh, error, contact support." So I wrote them asking what gives. Now at this point, I didn't even realize they had changed their business. They're not called Teespring anymore. They were called Spring. They were rebranding. And what they were doing is they were systematically starting to kick people off the site who they deemed like weren't in their own ideology, which is insane to me. I want you to think about that. So what ended up happening in 2021, my trolls formulated this like manifesto package of negative stuff about me.
I
It was
really
like a
wish
big,
she would
like a
just call
reel
it the
of the worst
dossier of
moments of
hate.
DSP. It had the awful jokes from the Dead Space 2 demo from 2010, and it had racial comments from other videos from like 2009, 2010. And they put it all together, and then they said, "Look, Phil owns a website called thekingofhate.com. He's a racist, and he's a sexist, and he's a bigot, and this is who you have on your site." And they sent that to Twitch, which got
When
me
you
kicked out of the
have
Twitch
that
partner
many
program.
clips, okay, of you saying things that can be construed that way, I don't think that it's unacceptable that people came to that conclusion. I'll just say it like that. And even if you don't think DSP really is a racist or a sexist or a bigot of any kind, the fact that he has so many clips of him saying things that could be construed that way is the issue, regardless of whether those statements are actually true to him. It doesn't matter.
They sent that to
It's all about the
various different
perception.
payment processors, various different websites where you can integrate with streaming, and they sent it to Teespring, right? Well, now Spring. And Spring, rebranding and wishing to have a new image, okay, decided on a whim without even contacting me to talk about it that I was not fit for their site, and they removed my shop. Now, I want you to think about this. They created the shop. They created the product. In 2017, they were the ones who recruited me, well knowing about my past. They were okay with it. 4 years later, they decide to rebrand and change their business model completely.
Okay.
And now they kick me off the site, even though I wasn't
Okay.
even doing anything. I wasn't selling merch. You could say, well, maybe you uploaded an offensive product. I hadn't uploaded products in like a year. So it doesn't make any sense at all.
But it doesn't
what
fucking
happened,
matter.
It's just
It doesn't fucking matter whether or not they, made these designs or reached out to him or whatever, because time is fucking changing and these businesses are changing with the times. There's definitely a lot of things that people said and got away with back in the day that they would have got, sponsorships for, or they would have, been part of the company for. And then when people found out, or if they had continued to have them on, people would have found out about, and they said, we don't want that shit anymore. I'm sure that's happened all throughout history. It doesn't fucking matter. They didn't want you on the site anymore. You're a bum. You weren't selling anything anyway. I don't know why you have to go on and on about this.
basically are prejudiced against me for shit I did. Like,
he's very clearly a detriment to every company that he works with.
That's completely unprofessional. And the fact they never even reached out to me to say, hey, we're closing your shop and here's why, or even give me a chance to explain or anything, that's completely unprofessional. They are not a good business to work with. I'm sorry. Whatever they did, again, much like with Twitch changing over the years, when you change your methodology of your business to now be all this bullshit about politics and fucking nonsense, get the fuck out of here. I'm a gamer. All I want to do is play video games. You think I care about your bullshit? So why the fuck did now you're punishing me because you changed? Go fuck yourself, right?
He's acting like they only make like Kamala Harris t-shirts or something now. Like you can't even get, any sort of YouTuber merch because it's all political. That's not the case. It's not the case at all. I don't know where he's getting this idea from. I don't know why he's spinning the narrative this way. It's not even believable.
Anyway, so I haven't had merch for 3 years, over 3 years, because that was what, April of 2021 is like when all this shit went down. Okay. Now, in the meantime, I've looked to possibly get merch again because now, over the years, people ask from time to time, "Hey, will you get merch?" And I'm like, "Well, here's why. I don't have it. I got kicked off Teespring with no."
Wait. They ask, "Will you get merch?" And you say, "Here's why." Awesome. That's definitely how you communicate.
And I would guarantee you that if I was to work with another business, it would be the same. And it's not that I haven't tried. For example, I already told the story earlier this year. Another business reached out to me, and they were like, "So we're a platform where you can have this whole thing for your followers. They can pledge to you and do ongoing subscription content. You could also sell merch." And I was like, I already have a Patreon. I don't really care about that other stuff, but I do care about the merch. I'd be interested in that, right? And I talked with them for about a week about it, and I kept explaining to them, listen, I'm not going to proceed setting up a shop on your storefront or anything.
People are going to DDoS you.
Into knowing that I'm a hazard for your business. Mob, this black cloud following me the fuck around. And they're going to come and they're going to harass you if you have products on your site that are of mine, because they've done it already to other businesses. You have to expect this is going to happen. You have to say you're okay with it. Because if I put the time and effort to setting up a storefront, uploading designs, my fans design stuff, and we put up merch, and then you shut it down within a week, you're wasting everyone's time, right? So at first, this person who I was talking to, who you could tell was just a recruiter agent for this company and didn't really understand anything about online trolling, was like, "Oh, how bad could it be? It's not a big deal." I was like, "You have no clue what you're talking about. I want you to go search for me right now on the internet, and you're going to see how many people are A-logging me. And then I want you to come back at me and tell me
why
you're
are we
still
putting
interested."
parentheses around or air quotes around A-logging
they probably
now?
went and searched and said, "Oh, goddamn, this guy is getting destroyed by these really, mentally stunted people.
Oh, okay.
And we don't want that associated with the business." So, and that was it. That was the last time I heard from them, and that was much earlier this year. So,
and this guy wonders why he had such an issue with getting a company to actually deal with his merch. And this is the shit that he's sending them upon first contact, is telling them that I'm going to be a detriment to your business. Everybody's going to hate you for working with me. Why don't you want to work with me? You've laid it out in your fucking emails there, bozo. I don't know what you expected from these other people, but your expectations were stupid.
It's going down, all right? And basically what happens is, now in the last month and a half, things are changing, right? So,
but things are changing now. We're on the redemption arc, stupid.
I'm interviewing people. My reputation's different now, okay? And people start reaching out to me, and I start having conversations. And essentially, through a little bit of like a grapevine deal, I was put into contact with a company.
Grapevine deal. We're making
really
wine.
Doesn't give a shit. Okay, like they actually just don't care about this kind of stuff. All they care about is making quality product and making some money. That's it. They don't care about being trolls on the internet and shit like this. They're just fuck that nonsense. In fact, they even said we're kind of used to it. There's some people who we have on our store that have that, and we don't care. Okay, so
my only question is, what fucking company is this, and who are they dealing with that they think they're prepared for DSP? Are they making like actual alt-right gear or something for some sort of figure out there? Or I'm just curious. I guess we're gonna find out eventually, but
for a couple of weeks.
That's my real question: is what company even is this? I
sent them a very basic. I sent them like 4 files. One is like the DSP gaming logo from this channel. One was like my 15-year anniversary logo.
DSP has partnered with the Daily Wire to create merch. Wouldn't that be fucking something?
Before I even had the Philomania logo, so I couldn't even send that to them. I totally would have sent that to them to test, but we didn't have it yet. So what they said they wanted to do is basically do a couple samples for me, and they were going to send me a couple free product just to look and see the quality, and we could look at it together on stream. And if we like it, then I would get back to them and say, "Hey, yeah, let's proceed. Let's set up a storefront. I'll send you more art and logos. Let's get this thing set up." And the way it works is just like
as rapid as possible.
You guys will go to that site.
Hemorrhaging money.
Browse the different products that are available, the different logos and lines and designs, and you'll be able to choose what you want. You buy it directly from them. They process it. They ship it to you, and I make a few bucks. I don't even know how much. Like, I literally don't even know how much I'll make on each sale, considering the fact I have such a low profit margin over on Teespring. I wouldn't be shocked if it's, again, just a couple bucks on each.
Dude, imagine doing business dealings and you don't even know how much of your own fucking profits you're going to be receiving from your merchandise. Like, what kind of business is this, dude? It's no fucking wonder he wasn't able to do his taxes, or he filed for fucking bankruptcy. He doesn't know anything, supposedly, if you believe what he fucking says, about any sort of monetary subjects at all. He doesn't know how much he's making. He doesn't know what his business expenses are. He doesn't know how much he's spending outside of anything. He can't tell you fucking anything, dude.
Thing, okay?
He actually knows nothing in the form of money.
And is international, from what I'm to understand, yes. But I haven't worked the details out yet, because what's the point of working all these details out until you get your hands on the product to see if you like it, correct? Because I'll be honest, I've seen some companies like this, and you know, they look good and their products are very shoddy. They'll send you the really low quality shit, like real thin materials, or you know, the t-shirts that are falling apart and are in a crappy quality. They don't feel soft or good on you. And like, do you really want to pay $25 for a t-shirt from a company and you get it and the fucking logo's printed crooked and looks like shit? That's happened to me, where I've actually
do you really want to buy a shirt that's got the guy's logo on it though? Like, you've got to be just as fucking dented, right?
Me the shirt and the whole thing was off. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how'd you screw this up so bad, right? So we have a couple products to look at today. Two shirts is what they sent me as a starter, starter example. Now, keep in mind, even though they have these logos, it doesn't even mean that they're going to make products with these logos. This was the test, all right? I know for a fact you guys want Philomania. Like, this is one of the things I would absolutely use for product, and then we would see what else you guys were interested in. So we have two. First is...
All right. Okay, here we go.
A long sleeve ringer t-shirt. Okay, now, I'm just going to forewarn everyone, when you order these kind of products,
smell it?
They're fresh out of the factory, and they smell, okay? Not like the stinky sock, but they smell like paint. You know what I mean? Like that factory smell. Definitely, if you order anything like this, you got to wash it before you wear it, because you don't want to have that, that smell. I got to wash these for sure.
Who is this? Okay, real talk. Who's this for? Who's buying merchandise offline and putting it directly on their body without washing it? If so, please wash your shit. And second off, it's just more information the DSP doesn't need to fucking say and make these little stinky faces on stream like people aren't gonna screen grab it.
Which is why I'm not wearing one today or anything. But it's always been like that. Every time I got custom product made like this, it always had that factory smell to it. You're like, ugh, gotta throw it to your washer. So this is a long sleeve ringer t-shirt. All right.
Oh my fucking god!
And as you can see, the quality of the print. It's actually, it's on the fabric. It's not one of those glossy print companies. Because the glossy ones,
so lame,
tend to break after you wash. It's actually on. Look, it's on the fabric. Okay, so it looks like it's a pretty good quality print. As for the shirt itself, nice.
And I'm not even like, we'll get a good nice screen grab of it here. I'm not even a big fan of this ringer style or whatever. But the actual logo itself is just the most boring, generic fucking DSP gaming logo merchandise you could have. This is the low effort that you expect out of DSP. I don't know why I'm shocked about this, but it's just so fucking disappointing. All these years, all this talk about the fucking redemption arc and people are loving me, you guys, and this is what you get for merchandise, the same boring ass DSP logo you've been seeing for ages.
Long sleeve, can you hear me? Nice long sleeve shirt. All right. I believe this was a large or an extra large. What? It's a large. So the name of
yeah, Wesley, this looks like it should have been made in 2011. You're right.
And it says heirloom jersey. So that's the quality of the product. Now, is it super thick? No, but this is the ringer shirt. The ringer shirt isn't made to be super thick.
Oh, it's the ringer shirt, you guys.
Fabric. I have another shirt here that actually is a thicker fabric, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay. So there you go. Large DSP gaming. All right. Not to say that anyone's going to want to buy the DSP Gaming logo, but it's just an example of their print quality. And I would argue that's a pretty good print quality. It's dark.
Oh, okay. That's not the design we're going with. That's just to test the print quality. Okay. All right. Whatever.
It's good. It stands out.
I guess I have to take back what I said.
Crap that breaks up. It's actually, I don't know what they call the technique, but it's much better than that other technique. Okay. So there you go.
This is the best technique.
Long sleeve ringer shirt.
What was their methodology when putting this t-shirt together?
This is their standard t-shirt. All right. And this is a thicker fabric. I would say this one is more of a standard t-shirt quality, but it's stretchy material. So that might actually be a sell for someone, because some people don't like the t-shirts that are more coarse material. This is very soft and stretchy material. So it's the higher quality stuff, okay?
What is the actual fucking t-shirt made out of? What is the material by name? Saying that it's stretchy doesn't mean anything, because you can put on any t-shirt and pretty much all of them are going to stretch to some extent. That's not actually informative at all. That's not a good descriptor. You've said nothing.
So here's the thing. I sent them a few logos, and they actually made this out of the logo. Okay, now this one is
That again looks like shit.
So it's me as Dan with DSP Gaming underneath. See that? And this is a piece of art that I've had on my streams for years. Okay? And now I can use it to make shirts and stuff, right? That's cool. So they took that Dan artwork out of a piece of art I sent them, and they made the shirt out of it, which is pretty cool. All right? So again, that's an example. This is not necessarily something that will be sold. This is an example of what would be sold on this site, okay? Again, this is
I really wish that he would have gone out of his way to wait to show these things off until he had the actual designs, because I think that would have added to the mystique of this entire thing.
What in the goddamn?
He's unveiling not only the build quality of these shirts, but then also the logos you can expect to purchase for yourself. That would have actually been something interesting. But the fact that we have these bum-ass logos that look like shit just so that he can say that that's not the final design is really lame. Smitty Weber Manjensen with the 2. Imagine tricking Dents into buying an iron-on shirt. I don't expect anything less out of the guy, and that's pretty much what we have. You're right. Thank you for the 2. Maybe you could have spent that 2 on a t-shirt, because that's about what they're worth apparently. Movie sign with the 5. What's interesting for me is how I would react if I actually saw someone wearing his merch in public. It would be hard not to just point and laugh. Well, I could tell you for free if I ever saw one. I'm taking a picture of that bozo and I'm posting it up to everybody I know. You're finna be publicly shamed. That's just the way she works, man. Don't associate yourself with the guy if you don't want to be bullied for it, really. It's that simple. And that goes for any hobby or any interest that you have. If you're willing to put it on your clothing and let people know that you're interested in it, you better be willing to be bullied for it.
Canvas from Bella Canvas. So I guess they use this company. Bella Canvas is the company that they use. I'm just curious if it says the percent of materials that it's made. 100% cotton. It's a 100% cotton t-shirt. What about this one? I think they're both.
Yo, I could see PPP buying like a Penta XL and wearing it for Restream and getting some sales for the guy like that. I could see that happening.
2% cotton, 48% polyester. So the Ringer shirt is a blend, okay? But the standard style t-shirt is 100% cotton, which is probably why it's the more stretchy feel to it and everything, okay? So there you go. So
there you go.
Look, personally, I like this quality of shirt. This is a comfy shirt to me. I would want a shirt that's softer and stretchier as opposed to one of the shirts that's more
how does he know
material.
that it's a comfortable shirt to him? Did he was saying that the other one was stinky? Did he put that on his body while it was stinky to try it on, or did he not try that one on, or he's only talking about this one? Like, what are we fucking talking about here? This is why he shouldn't have mentioned that they stunk in the first place, because now I'm questioning whether he actually tried them on before shilling them out to his fucking viewers and telling him that they like the build quality.
Honestly, a lot of the shirts you buy are the coarse material. I don't know why. I like this one better. The print quality looks great to me. Again, it's it's printed on there. It's not that glossy style print that's probably going to break in the wash right away. This is probably going to last a while. So I like it, but again, you got to wash it before you wear it. You can smell the
okay, that one fucking stinks too.
Like that.
So he hasn't actually worn either of these, or he's put stinky ass clothes on.
So there you go.
I don't know which one's worse.
All right, of t-shirts that we'll have. And I'm sure they have many more products. I don't think they just do t-shirts. They're going to probably have a lot more. Now, personally, I like these.
I love it.
Personally. I don't know if you like them. I don't know if you'd be considering, hey, I'd be interested in buying something if you had some merch. Let me know what you think. All right? but personally, I like them, and I'm gonna get back to them and be like, yeah, I actually really like the first product she sent. Let's talk further about, you know, setting up the storefront. I'll get them some more logos and stuff to work with. Definitely, I want to send them to Philomania, but I'm basically gonna dive.
Definitely would have sold him this
into,
stolen
like,
logo that I ripped off of
my
some
artwork
European
from over the
band.
years that I'm
Shout
all
out
this artwork that I've been
Philomania,
using
by the
forever
way.
that I can now make product out of, right? And I think maybe what I'll do, I'll bring back some of the classic designs. Like I said, the King's Skull design was the one that was the best seller on Teespring.
Brother, he's not even gonna come up with original fucking designs. He's gonna pull up a bunch of the classics that nobody was buying. If they weren't buying them then, why the fuck would they buy them now? Well, I thought we were on our new arc. I thought people liked us again. Now we're gonna fucking roll back to the same shit we've been hawking for years? Oh my god, dude.
So maybe we can bring that back and then have new designs as well based on all these new things, these new things that have been going on. People are just saying, yeah, Philomania hoodie. I'm sure they have hoodies. I'm sure. I'll check, but I'm sure they're gonna have all this stuff, you know. And then I mean, the key is I got to get the storefront set up. I got to have an account I can log in. I can check, you know, give them all the stuff, and then they're gonna have their team work on this. And from what I'm to understand, they're gonna do it for me, which is good because I don't really have time to be designing products now.
Far
I
too
had to
busy,
do all that
obviously.
myself on Teespring. Like they didn't do it. They initially designed my original product line, but then they moved on, and I had to do it all myself over the years. If these guys can set up a good product line for me, and yeah, well, okay. So let me ask you guys.
Okay, I'm ready.
I want to get your opinions right now live. What besides Philomania? All right. What other logos would you guys like to see as product? The level 1
Guys, I'm asking you in my chat right now the same question I'm asking DSP. What logos do you want to see on DSP merch? What symbols, what icons, what pictures do you want to see? Pig Roach Classic. I'm trying to see the DSP Pig Roach merch for sure. Gotta see it. What's up, Duco Duos? How's it going, brother? I'll let you guys type in the chat what you want to see.
You've seen it on the screen, and you see it right now as the thumbnail of this video. Do you like the Level 1 podcast logo, and would you like to see that? Like, here it is. Would you like to see that
handicap sign on the DSP
like
merch?
Maybe what I should do is I should get a
like
Level
a
1
utilitarian
podcast
style.
myself. So as I'm doing the podcast,
in case you don't know who DSP is, you still
What
get it
in the
communicated that
goddamn-
they're
I think that'd be
special.
pretty cool.
I like it.
Yes, people are saying yes. Some people are saying yes. Outside of Philomania and Level 1 podcast, what else would you like? Me as Ken. So the artwork of me is like Ryu or Ken or something like that. Okay.
Wearing the wig, hopefully. I hope we have the cross-dressing style DSP on a t-shirt.
I cannot use official licensed stuff. Like someone just said, have a logo of Cammy destroying you. You can't do that. Cammy is owned by Capcom. This is possible.
Wait, have a merch of Cammy destroying him. That sounds it sounds like something a not married individual would do.
Me as Dan, you could tell that's me. That's my likeness as Dan Hibiki. That's allowed. Me dressed up as Ryu or Ken, that's allowed. Actually using Cammy, not allowed. It has to be me or my likeness or logos associated with me. You can't be like, I can't have Sonic the Hedgehog running on me. It's not allowed. Okay? Bring back the old Dark Souls hoodie. I'll have to look into that. I'll definitely have to look into that. I don't remember the Dark Souls hoodie.
I don't even know what that means. Is it the one where he's running from the skeletons?
The good
like the bone wheel skeletons?
No exaggeration.
I do remember that one.
I'm still using the same PC I've used for a decade. So all the artwork is on there somewhere. It's just a matter of me finding it. Okay? The villain says Jasper Kitty. Oh, I guess, I mean, that could be cool to get like a shirt of Jasper, but we'd have to find like a good picture that I could use. Like I do use the there.
And that's the fucking issue when he crowdsources from his dents like this. They're like, oh, do a t-shirt of Jasper Kitty. But you saw how that fucking t-shirt looked. It's literally gonna be a PNG of Jasper the cat on a fucking blank ass t-shirt that's some gaudy color that nobody wants, right? That's the merch. Who's fucking asking for that? Who's gonna be wearing that? You could have got that taken care of, customized style in your local area for a fraction of the cost. You would just have to ask DSP for a good fucking picture of his cat. which he could do for free.
There's the picture right there that I use, and you guys do like that picture of him, right? That's actually him at in the front of our house. But I have to find like a high quality picture, perhaps.
Yes, use your
Bring back
brand
the
new phone to
Obama
take a
red and
good
blue
picture,
design.
stupid.
Yeah, but Swagonito, remember that one? It said it was my face, and it said hate, and it's the old me before I even had a beard. Like, that's so outdated. No one's really gonna understand that reference. I don't do that stuff anymore, right? Andre the DJ says I would buy a Jasper inspired plush animal toy or figure. I'll have to see. Again, I'm not 100% on their product line. I don't know what they sell yet. I knew they sold shirts, and I think they do mugs and stuff like that. So now I'm going to go back to them and be like, hey, your samples are good. I'm interested. Let's talk about product and storefront, all that. And I'll get back to you guys on more information on this as I have more of it. Okay.
I actually like that idea from the Dent. He should have went with like a makeshift style collaboration and done a plushie of Jasper the cat, or his wife is a horse. Those could have been the two options. I think people would have loved that. And the cat laid on the keyboard. That's why the screen looks goofy. Get off the keyboard.
Me as M. Bison. That would be kind of
Yo,
cool.
the Declawed plushie. Yeah, you could have like little bandages over his toes or something.
Me and maybe superimpose, like turn me into like M. Bison. That would be kind of neat. The Jasper emo isn't high quality enough. I'd have to get them like a real.
You could have had a rat. Yeah, dude, you could have had like a horse or a raccoon wearing the shower curtain with the flower pattern on it. Now I would have bought one of those.
Family logo with me and Cat. Well, I actually have 15-year anniversary logo with me and Cat drawn as like cartoonish, and it's really nice. And that's one of the ones I gave them, but they didn't do anything for the samples with that. But I think that would be a nice one people might like.
Yo, gout slippers. They could have been like pink, yes, like little piggies, and they could have had his gout over a little pig face on the toes.
Ringer tee, and this is the cotton polyester blend shirt.
There's so many different things that you could do that would be more creative than this, what you're looking at right now.
And then this is
boring ass fucking DSP gaming shirt
with a design they came up with based on artwork I had sent them, and that's extra large. And this is a 100% cotton t-shirt. So there you go.
There you go.
My old DSP logo with the game controller. Oh, I remember that. That's really old. Oh yeah. Like I said, I will definitely look into the archives of crap that I got on my computer here. I will find some of the best stuff from over the years and send them a bunch and see what they come up with. Nothing I could do slogan. I'm sure I could get, if I don't have that, I probably could, that's something that can easily be whipped up. You know what I mean?
Not by the guy though, of course. Yeah, like it could easily be whipped up by somebody else other than him.
Their team could probably just do that easily.
He left that part out conveniently.
Me as a card dealer with people like RTU and Craig sitting at a table with no chips. Well, again, you can't really use other people's likenesses. You have to use your own or whatever. You have to be careful about that stuff. You know, unlike other people who have sold my likeness without permission, it's completely illegal. You know, I'm not going to be doing that stuff.
Yeah, because you're so much better, boss. Come on, keep it moving. Keep scanning the chat. Find something to read.
Andre the DJ says, I wonder if they could actually design a tropical button-down theme-inspired shirt. I think this is more of a company that they print on a pre-existing product. Like, I don't think they make the shirt. They buy those shirts in bulk, and then they have a factory where they print the stuff. I don't think that this company is actually making the shirts. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that they're going to be able to do that. That would be pretty crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, today is React Day, Alex, of course. Sunday is always React Day.
Can they not read the fucking name of the stream?
Leon DSP. That could maybe be possible, but someone would have to whip that up. Bloomkid did a super chat. A shirt of you wearing the crown with text saying the hate is back, all hail the king. All hail the king, good. The hate is back. No, again, you got to be careful with how you word stuff these days.
The hate is back.
Literally twist it to something it's not.
He's not the king of hate, idiot.
I'm not a hateful person. But people might twist it into that, so you can't really have that.
And think about that for a second. We're supposed, like, DSP's supposed to be the king again, right? He's the king. The king of what? Great question. I don't know. He's the king. Fill the king's coffers, the king's tax, yada, yada, yada. But he's out here worried about what other people are going to think, so much so that he's not willing to be He's not willing to acknowledge what he's the king of hate. He's not willing to bring the entire character back because he's still worried about what other people have to say. Very kingly, dude. It shows how alpha you are and how you truly don't care what other people have to say by changing everything about you.
For me holding the Project 7 gun saying, I spawn, I die. That could be cool. That would have to be a screen grab from Project 7, right? But by the way, thank you, Bloomkit. That was a super chat. And that's actually our very first super chat of the day was from Bloomkit here. Thank you, Bloomkit.
Thank you, Bloomkit.
Guys, we are currently almost at 400 viewers. We got 83 likes. Let's get that to 100. All right, right now, if you're here and you're chilling, you're enjoying what
yeah,
we're doing,
Riddick, you're actually right. DSP changed for political reasons then. Yes, sir. That's actually how that works out then, isn't it?
Please like the stream.
Because he's changing for the same, he's willing, or he's outright not willing to acknowledge being the king of hate for the exact same reason that Teespring supposedly didn't want to work with him. Because times have changed and nobody wants to be associated with that garbage. Which includes himself, apparently, but it was wrong they got rid of him?
Super chat from Bloomkit and $3 in tips, and that's it. Please support today's podcast, and let's get this tips going, because we got to keep that King's streak alive, right? We got to get back. We have to match that 41 that it was at, and that we lost momentum because of stupid Black Myth Wukong, right?
Sounds good, dude. What is that, the fourth bag? The second one for tips?
The skeletons running design. Oh, the one where I was like, I hate skeletons or whatever. That was very old, and it didn't really sell that well. What I'm gonna do, I need to look at what stuff I have already, and other ideas too. And I need you guys to tell me like what's interesting, because a lot of the stuff from the past you might want, but that might sell twice, and that's it, right? And then there might be stuff that's like best selling, so we have to figure out a good mix. And if there's new ideas of stuff I don't have yet, but you would like to be made, I could work with them and see if they can make it, or someone else makes it, right?
Now, I've never done anything merch related like this, and I probably never will. But I would. It's my assumption that at any point you could just make new designs and have like a cycling out of old designs and new designs, so that there's always like an ever-changing cycle of things that people could purchase. That way, if they're not selling now, you could take them off the market, and then when you put them back up 6 months later, maybe people who were looking for them are going to purchase them now that they're available. It's like a false scarcity style thing. I don't know that that's exactly how it works, but I would imagine so. It's a storefront that he could change at any point. At least Teespring was. I would imagine this would be the same thing. But that's not even something that he's thought of or ever outright acknowledged at all.
A white shirt or hoodie with black letters, like, why am I toxic, or nothing I can do. So you go, why am I toxic, nothing I can do. The triplets line. What are the ones? Like, I got to think of all the different lines, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, RTU's last chip could be cool, but I mean, would you really buy a shirt just with this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, just a shirt with a poker chip, would that be something you would buy? What would be the context? What would you want on the shirt with the poker chip reference that would be a sellable product you would want to buy, right?
Dude.
This is the
you
stuff
can't think of any of that yourself? Like, even just throwing your logo with that, or like I want to say his face, but I guess you can't do that. I mean, you can, but you're not willing to. Like, just figure it out, man. But we're just gonna sit here and continue to scan chat, waiting for them to put these designs together verbally.
Another one interesting. We have to figure out how to do it, right?
Yeah, it should just be the chip and it's say felted underneath. That's a good shirt. I like that, okay. Jonathan.
All right, so thank you for. Oh, that's true. A shirt with the falling coins. I could be like this, and coins are showering, and we say we hit the streak, or the coffers are filled, or something like that. That could work. Yeah, sure,
that could work. Fucking lame. And that animation is dicks, cool. Bro. It sucks. Imagine wearing that fucking shit ass animation on your
shirt
clothing,
with a chip and it says felted. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, let's be honest, that is more of a Kino Casino thing. That's not something that I really came up with. So I'm sure they probably wouldn't care, but I would prefer for it to be something more more of mine, right? With my 16 years of history.
All right. His leg
Okay.
shaking, bouncing his
All right.
arm
Well,
is
thank you guys. That's
suspicious.
the end of that segment. I hope you
I
enjoyed
know
it.
he's not doing
Hopefully
anything
you like the
goofy, but
quality of the
it definitely
products.
looks odd.
And now it seems like you guys like it, right? Like you like those shirts. They look good to you. They look good to me. And so what I will do is talk with this company
Look good
further
to you, looks good to me.
And basically see you know what they do. I'm actually very curious exactly what merch they make. You know, is it just shirts? Do they have more? Because I think they have mugs. I think for a fact they have mugs, but I don't know what else they do. So once I figure all that out, I can get back to you guys on
Real
exactly
talk,
what
why
we're
the
working
fuck
on.
is he so obsessed with mugs? Like the DSP beer stein, whenever he's talking about his merch, manages to get brought up. Like I know it's a classic and he was sipping out of it in every video for like years, almost maybe even a decade, right? But who the fuck is out there talking about, oh, DSP, I could really use a new morning coffee mug. Would you be willing to make merchandise so I could have that? Like who's out there requesting that specifically?
I'll probably send them a whole bunch of logos and things that I already have accumulated, and we'll try
Is
to
my chat
brainstorm some
frozen?
ideas
Probably.
together once I see what products
Sometimes
they
it
have.
do
I
that.
like the idea of a shirt that has all my sayings on it. That nothing I could do. Why am I toxic? We are the triplets.
A classic
You know, what are other
DSP
ones?
saying,
You know, think of
we are
different
the triplets, of course. You guys know that classic DSP saying.
ones that we could put on
We
there that
are
things that
the
are like
triplets.
commonalities, right? Wow. There you go. Wow.
Yeah, Ruka, please donate another DSP classic. I was blocking.
Okay. Oh no, they have confirmed with me that they're willing to work with me. It's more
been
of a
really
me
slow, you
looking at their
guys. I
product
want to hit
quality,
the
talking
king's
with
streak.
you guys and telling them that I want to do it. That's what that's what this is. It's totally on their side. They wanted to work with me. They were like, "Yes, we'll do it." So, it's more this is developing that trust in the product before I jump headfirst into something. You know, cuz just imagine if I didn't do what I just did and I just agreed right away. And then all of a sudden I start getting word from you guys. Yeah, I ordered a shirt and look, the print's completely off. It's crooked. It
Down
looks
from
like
the
crap.
disposal, we looked at
It's
the
low
merch
quality,
already.
falling apart. Why is the shirt
You
such a low
rewind the
quality
stream.
shirt?
I'm
And
not
everyone's
going back
upset.
for it.
So I don't
But
want
we
to do
looked
that.
at
I wanted to sample
the
first.
potential
Samples
merch to
are pretty
be.
good, I feel. So. Okay. Good stuff.
Right.
Now what I would like to do, folks, new segment, new topic. We're going to jump over to the gaming schedule for well, it's KFC.
I thought we already did the
schedule for the rest of the year. And what I mean by that is what I would like to do is go through games that have solid release dates for the rest of 2024 and personally pick out and tell you guys the ones that I'm interested in. All right. I think this is going to be very useful to some people who are interested to know what is Phil up to, what games is he going to be playing. Because at this point, there's so many games coming out, it's hard to tell and discern between them. So first of all, Boyhood's End
what
right
the
here.
fuck does
Definitely,
that mean?
this is one.
It's little shit like that. There's so many games coming out. It's hard to tell what's coming up or what's going on, or something like that. What the fuck did he just say?
All right, I think this is going to be very useful to some people who are interested to know what is Phil up to, what games is he going to be playing. Because at this point, there's so many games coming out, it's hard to tell and discern between them.
There's so many games coming out, it's hard to tell and hard to discern between them. Who can't keep up with what games are coming out? DSP's only going to play a handful of them anyway, and he talks incessantly about them every day. How the fuck do you not know? And if you don't know, don't worry. You give him 15 minutes, it'll fucking tell you again.
So first of all, Boyhood's End right here. Definitely this is one I'm playing. Wait, what? Okay. So let's go through this. So obviously today is September 15th, right? So we're already halfway through September. And I can tell you, out of all the games of September that have come out, there is one that I missed that I'm genuinely interested in. It is called The Casting of Frank Stone. It is a horror game, all right? And it ties into the lore and the universe of Dead by Daylight, right? Or is it Death by Daylight? I can't remember what it is. Dead by Daylight, is it not? I'm pretty sure it is. It looked great. We watched the trailer for it a couple weeks ago on my React show, but what happened was I got so busy with all this other stuff going on, and then I got backlogged on games, so it came out at a time when I was already playing other new games. I just didn't have a chance to even look at it, okay? So I'm definitely interested in it, All right, and I feel like we can get around to this eventually.
Mhm.
Maybe even towards October, like Halloween time. It makes sense. I don't know.
Oh, we're pushing this
But
game
outside of
back for
that, I feel like
Halloween. It's
everything else
gotta
that
be
came
a
out this
thematic
month,
style
you know,
playthrough, of course, of
it wasn't
course.
very appealing to me, except for this Boyhood Zen maybe. But uh, I mean, Space Marine we're playing, so there you go. Space Marine
What
2. We're already
fucking
playing that. That
website
was the
are
one
we on? This is actually IGN's website? Okay.
that appealed to me there. And Astrobot we're playing. That's the one that appealed to me there. And of course, the Marvel vs.
Just feel
Capcom
like showing
collection.
one column of video games at a time is kind of a
Down
dick
here
look on your
was the other one
website.
that I was interested in.
Maybe
I'm
that's on
playing.
his
Here it is.
behalf.
So
Maybe he could close
that's
this.
that.
I'm unsure.
So if you haven't noticed, I haven't really touched upon or played any remasters, and that's for good reason. When I'm in the midst of playing new games and I'm already inundated and backlogged and I'm not getting
Did I
through
say
them,
column?
I'm
I
not
meant
gonna
a
start
row.
playing remasters.
Snood, shut up.
Remasters
How about
are
that? You ever thought about
if
that?
you have nothing going on and you're looking to fill a gap in time, right? Then you play a remaster.
All right, pay attention.
For
You
example,
too.
Lollipop
You too.
Chainsaw Repop. I didn't really like that game when it was new. Like I remember, I just thought it was kind of meh. It was very repetitive and it had parts that were very grindy and annoying. It also had parts that were fun, but it's just kind of a stupid
It's got a
game.
woman as the main
Like, it's just a
character. He's not
dumb
fucking
game
playing that.
That was a time killer at that time.
Why are we
It
wasting
wasn't
our time
anything special
pretending?
or anything? So, I'm not really interested in that. So moving on for the rest of the month here, okay? Scrolling down into where we are today, which would be the 15th, okay? I'm almost positive that there's pretty much nothing of interest really going on. I mean, look, they're porting Jedi Survivor to PlayStation 4 and like Xbox One. That's insane. It's a year and a half
The
later,
Poors
they're
are getting their
finally
stupid
porting it.
Star
That's just
Wars
wild to
game.
me.
Who
So again,
cares?
Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. I'm not saying I would never play it. I'm saying if I'm freaking already backlogged on new games that I'm not playing, there's no way I'm going to be playing that remaster now, right? Like
Why
maybe I
not?
would do that later. Again, maybe like
Dude,
October
Dead Rising fucking rocks.
just
Like
don't think
out
I'm
of
gonna be doing
all
it
of the games that I've ever seen DSP play, not only was Dead Rising one of the most entertaining, but Dead Rising as a game is really, really good. It's just incredibly enjoyable. I'm very upset that DSP is not going to give it the time of day.
now. Plus, I played the Dead Rising remaster years ago. I played it twice because I liked it. The first run is so rough. The second run's so much better, right? But I've already done it. So it's funny that, again, it's being remastered a second time within like a decade.
The new one's going to be super censored and
opinion,
castrated. No,
hey,
I don't
know a lot
want to
of
hear
people like
that.
classic
Stop
Dead Rising, right?
Don't do this to me. Not that I was going to pick it up anyway.
Continuing on here.
But
I really don't see. Oh, I didn't even know God of War
added
Ragnarok
yellow
was supported
paint.
PC.
Get him out of
interesting. It probably
here.
look gorgeous, I bet. Again, I don't really see anything that's standing out. How about the Karate Kid Street Rumble? Yes, do you remember in the Karate Kid movies when Daniel-san walked out into the streets and just started beating up, entire gangs of thugs and stuff? I remember that. Actually, I wonder if it's a fighting game. It might be a fighting game.
How long are we staying since you
all right, so
finished
anyway,
the merch
nothing,
rant?
right?
The rest of the pre-stream.
Here of any interest.
Here till the react
Another
starts.
remaster.
Then I'm running away.
Epic Mickey, rebrushed for full price, mind you. That's like a $60 game, which is hilarious that they're trying to sell it again, for $60 all these years later.
Okay.
So yeah, no, like none of these really appeal to me at all. All right, just being honest here.
Yo, he should play Monopoly.
Is this the new Monopoly? Is this
Oh my
actually
fucking
hold on.
god, he really
Is this the
bit
new one
on
that. They were
that.
advertising? Is it finally coming out?
Yo, do you guys remember during the Xbox showcase when he got fucking hyped over Monopoly? I swear that was a thing that happened. I'm not misremembering because it was just as absurd then, dude.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? This is the new Monopoly game. A fresh look and improved gameplay experience.
We love the Monopoly segment.
And it's on PC too. I might get that. I'm serious. Like I might get that just for like chill nights. We play Monopoly and stuff. I love Monopoly, but I haven't played it in a zillion years.
DSP, the only person to love Monopoly. Oh my fuck, dude, could you imagine how boring those night streams would be? Like actual fucking insomnia cures to just watch the guy play Monopoly in almost dead silence because it's him fucking rolling the dice for ages. Oh my god.
People like Monopoly. No, I mean,
you want to talk about a fucking endure?
Like, I don't know. I think it would be though. Okay, we're still going. As you can see, there's like nothing. I'm serious. There's nothing for the rest of September. So likely what we'll do, all right, is we'll focus on beating Warhammer Space Marine 2. We'll focus on beating Astrobot. We'll probably do WWE Champions a bit, maybe twice a week, if not more. I'd like to do it at least twice a week, because once a week doesn't cut it. We don't get any progress in the game. Like right now, people are yelling at me. They're like, Phil, are you aware that tons of people tried to join your faction, and you're not in the game for a week, so you don't approve it, and it just sits there? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't boot it. So so maybe
So then,
we'll play
what was the point of the faction if he's not going to be checking on it and actually allowing people into it so that they can make the progress? Like, I thought that was the whole point. It was supposed to be a community thing, and he's not even checking it.
Twice, once during the week and once on the weekend.
I guess get fucking felted. Now you're addicted to a gacha game, all because of the guy. He's not even fucking playing it with you.
Collection. So basically, I think that's what my balance will be for like the next week to 2 weeks. Is that until Terry comes out in Street Fighter 6, and then we jump and we try Terry, and we go from there. Now, I would say the next real game that I'm interested in would be The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of what's it called? Echoes of Wisdom. Okay,
I didn't even know that was coming out this month.
So probably that's really the next like major release outside of Terry Bogard releasing on the 24th in Street Fighter 6. Probably Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom will be the next one that I'm interested in playing on the 26th. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
But outside of that, Worms Armageddon, no. Looney Tunes,
no love for Worms, no love for NHL.
Nothing going on this month. For the rest of the month, it's pretty dry.
No love
the only
for
other one that I know
Greedfall
about,
2.
but they don't even have it listed here, which is pretty funny. Is Starfield? Oh, here it is. Starfield Shattered Space. So this is kind of a maybe, because it's still unclear if I have access to my game file and to all the content for Starfield on PC as I did on Xbox. On Xbox, I bought the high-end edition of the game to play it early. And this is the expansion. It's coming out on the 30th, and I was curious, just jumping in and looking at it, if anyone would be interested, even if it's just a one-off stream, just to see it, because if I do have the rights to it, then I don't have to spend any money for it. Just try it, right? And see
it's
how
not going to carry over. PC, I don't know why he would think it would carry over.
That's it for this month, basically. Remakes, if I feel like doing them, if I even have time for them. Maybe the casting of Frank Stone. All right.
A game I never heard of.
Well, I should say Terry Bogard on the 24th for Street Fighter 6, Zelda on the 26th, and then maybe looking at Shattered Space. All right, so that's September.
And think about that lineup there. Like, we needed to do a schedule segment for this. Like, so far, what have we learned? That DSP is going to be playing a bunch of games that nobody particularly cares about till Zelda comes out? Very cool, dude. Very cool. Thanks for the information, I guess.
October.
Super busy. Super busy.
Like
gotta get back to the
heavier
gameplay.
Month, but let's actually get to the real dates, because you can see these all say Q4, which is not a real date. TBA is not a date. I don't know why they list these. This is so stupid. These should not even be listed here. Where are the real dates? Can I get to a real date instead of TBA? What a bunch of dummies. But they don't know how to run their site, IGN.
Then why don't
Look,
you
it's all
do
fucking
it for
TBA. You dunces. Don't want TBA. I want the actual games coming out in October, and you fucked up your site because you're dumb. Look, we're still going through TBAs. Oh my god, this is unbearable stupidity.
Very close to TBS. Shout out, of course.
It's still TBA.
TBA, of course, their interview spinoff show, That Big Ask.
What is this? So their site doesn't even work. It's just a bunch of TBAs. They didn't actually update this with October dates. Wait, they did, but it scrolled me to the middle of the page. Their website, when you click on October, scrolls you to the middle of the page past the October dates. Oh.
You can see the fucking scroll bar on the side, you dipshit. I feel like I'm on
GeoCities in the late 90s.
Just fucking pay attention.
This is how
dude, like he's actually having issues navigating a fucking website. Now, granted, I've already said this layout is kind of ass, but just look at this. The scroll bar exists and you can see it.
Their website.
Use your fucking eyeballs, bro. Your ojos, if you will.
Is
a little
half
Spanish
the page,
side
and the
for
content
you.
you're looking for is crushed to the bottom of the page, and there's no way to resize the menu. So the menu is forced to take up more. Look at this. I can't.
See, I asked about that earlier.
This is what I want, but this
they do
is
have an ass layout.
Look at their menu. Fucking idiots. And they pay someone for this site, by the way. For the record,
I'm about to go on their website right now and see if it looks like that legitimately.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hank Fritz, are you kidding me? Listen to this. Hank Fritz did a $5 super chat. He says, merch idea, do a minimalist shirt that says coffers filled, price it as $150. Meaning when people buy it, they'll buy it for a meme status that they spent $150 on a shirt, and it's the meme that you hit your goal for the day. I mean, that would be pretty wild, actually, Hank. That
Okay, so
that might be
to be clear about that, that's a dent telling DSP to rip off his dents and just charge them $150 for a meme t-shirt. Very cool, very cool. I like this idea. You should
and you
do
wonder
that.
if anyone would actually buy it. I wonder. I actually legit wonder if someone would. See, here's the thing though.
Oh, and for anybody who's curious, you can absolutely shrink this menu. This menu does not have to be this big. You are allowed to see 2 rows at a time. At the normal standard zoom in of 100% on the website. You should be able to see a second row. This is on DSP's behalf.
I don't know.
Fuck, you can almost see a third row.
I don't know how much money I make on this stuff. Like, I might only make a few dollars a shirt. So imagine someone spending $150 for that shirt, and I make like $3. So it might not make sense. It'd be one thing if it was like I was getting the money, but what if I'm not getting it, right? You have to understand that's the thing with these companies. They're going to make the vast majority of profits on these shirts, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So I get it. The meme makes sense, but I don't know if that pricing model would make sense.
All right. I'm glad he liked that idea. Out of all of the ideas we've been given today, that's the one we bit for.
And asked, did you ever think of doing a demo stream of upcoming games during quieter months? You can decide based on that, and it's much easier to do now that you have a gaming PC. It's a great idea. I used to do demo days back in the day. If you're not aware, that's the wrong keyboard. I used to do demo days back in the day.
DSP was doing demos back in the day.
Back when
was
Xbox
this?
Live on the Xbox 360 used to have frequent demos, but then they stopped doing it.
Is that a stream idea? We watch DSP play demos.
You're right. It's a great idea. Thank you for that.
How many of those even exist?
Okay, so here is October. Okay,
more importantly, you guys remember Demo Disc? You guys remember when Funhouse did Demo Disc? And it was just Rule 34 all the time? What a strange
Any of these
time.
are interesting me. Right now, no.
What up,
No,
Morgana?
I don't care
How's
about
it
Until
going?
Dawn Remastered.
Thanks for stopping by.
Exactly the same game. It doesn't need a remaster. So Silent Hill 2 Remake, that's definitely the first one in October I'm interested in. October 8th. That's a huge one. I'm absolutely playing that. Those are... Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is a maybe. It's a maybe. I'm not sure. Like, I told you guys, basically, I wasn't too interested in it because... didn't feel...
It's another Dragon Ball Z game that's not going to progress the story or matter. Go ahead.
There's enough going on in it to diversify it from previous Dragon Ball games. And then everyone freaked out and said, I can't believe you're not playing the latest Dragon Ball game. There hasn't been one in years, and you always play them all. So, I don't know. It's really up to you guys. If you want to see me play that one.
I was pretty close.
One that I'm definitely
interested in all of it,
Metaphor
but that's what he meant.
Okay, I'm very much want to play it, but again, with Atlus's history, with false copyright strikes and stuff, I really don't know if I should do it.
That's me.
I may have to wait
false copyright strikes
a few days and see if people are getting smashed with copyright issues or not. But I would be down for Metaphor for sure. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Nomadic Gaming, for the 6-month membership. Casting of Frank Stone and Meet Your Maker are solid. The Dead by Daylight devs do put actual work into their other games, despite Dead by Daylight being slop. I'm surprised to hear that because, like you said, Dead by Daylight looks like slop, and I would not trust them to do anything. Maybe I'll have to look into what you're saying.
This Starship Troopers game, and I don't really know much about it. "12-player squad-based co-op FPS combat." Yeah, I don't know.
That's 12-player? Good lord.
I would say it's a maybe. I'm not sure about it or not. This Starship Troopers game.
That's kind of wild.
Because some people had mentioned it. The thing is, it comes out the same day as Metaphor and Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and I was going to ask that same thing, Master Beef. I thought that game has been out on Steam. Is that a different Starship Troopers game that we're looking at right now?
Okay.
I'm about to look. No one at me? I've got to do my own research. Ack.
This Quiet Place game we had watched the trailer for. and it seems like an interesting horror idea.
It is
I
a
just don't know
different
if it's gonna
game.
translate
That's
into a game that people
Terrain
want to see more than a
Command.
couple times. A single-player
Nope,
horror
that's an
adventure game inspired by a
RTS.
critically acclaimed blockbuster.
That's an
Survive in
entirely
silence.
different
Yeah,
game.
I don't know. Especially because you know
I clicked on the
it's
wrong
probably
one.
going to be
Okay.
just basically sneaking, because that's the whole idea of the movie, is that you have to be quiet, right? There's probably just sneaking around trying to survive.
Nope, Starship Troopers Extermination came out May 17th, 2023. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about or why that's on there. Unless I'm dented.
I don't know how well that'll translate into a game, but that's a maybe, I would say. I am aware that there's a new Mario Party game, but I'm not sold on it. I don't know if people would really like it or not. If I get it, I would probably just play it online or whatever, like with randoms. Over 110 mini games are available to play.
Yo, Mario Kart by yourself. Yes, DSP. That's the stream we want. Please.
So that's a maybe. Mario Party is a maybe for me. Let's see here. Don't really care about the Ninja Turtles at this point.
Yo, Worshippers of Cthulhu comes out October 21st. It's like a city building style Lovecraftian theme. I don't know anything about it, but I saw it on Steam and put it on my wish list because I like the theme. Sometimes that's all it takes. I just hope it's a good city builder because I need one. City Skylines 2 is kind of shit.
Here it is. So obviously Black Ops 6 is a yes. I played the demo or the beta, and I actually like the game. And it runs absolutely beautifully on my PC. And it runs at 120 frames, and I was kicking major ass with the Elite 2 controller. So yeah, absolutely, I'm playing that. And Sonic X Shadow Generations, yes, I'm interested in that. You know, it's not just Sonic Generations. It now has all this new content with Shadow. So yes, there too. Those two is a definite yes for me. Okay.
I don't know if Phil has ever skipped a Call of Duty set phasers to felt. I genuinely want to say no. The DSP has played every Call of Duty since forever, kind of, I think. I don't know if he's ever played anything like Call of Duty 1, 2, or 3, but I want to say since World at War, he's played all of them. That sounds right to me. Which is crazy, because even I don't like Call of Duty that much. And Life is Strange Double Exposure? Yeah, I'm actually very interested in that. The original Life is Strange was great. He skipped Vanguard?
And then Life is Strange 2 was terrible.
Oh, you know what? I do remember him talking about skipping Vanguard. I do.
And
okay,
the prequel was
that sounds right to me.
Life is Strange True Colors actually was a pretty good game. So I'm looking forward to this one, to continuing the story of, what's her name, Max Caldwell or whatever. Years later, she's grown up and how her life has changed, but she still has these powers to shift time or whatever. So, yeah. I'm actually very interested in that one. I genuinely am.
I can't believe he's actually interested in the new Life is Strange game. Do you guys remember how much shit he talked about hipster teen girls in the first one or whatever, and all of the strange jokes that he was making, and now he wants to revisit the world in Life is Strange Double Exposure? I just don't think that's a good idea, boss. Just leave that series alone. It's very clearly not made for people like you. And I mean, when I say people like him, I mean obnoxious, grotesque, unfunny individuals who have nothing interesting to say during the downtime. But also, yes, Life is Cringe is
all right,
is actually that game.
October is going to be a pretty interesting month, right? So we start off with the Silent Hill 2 remake, and then it'll be Metaphor and probably Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Maybe the Starship Troopers game. I'm undecided, but it's a maybe. Maybe the Quiet Place game, maybe not. Maybe at this time also I'll play that Casting of Frank Stone. Maybe the Mario Party game, I'm not sure.
Oh my god, we just went through this. Now we're recapping?
Definitely Call of Duty and Sonic X Shadows and
Blood Bar
Tycoon. Double Exposure. Okay. Of course. And also, by the way, I am aware that Dragon Age Veilguard also comes out on Halloween, and that's absolutely, I'm considering it. I like Dragon Age. Dragon Age Inquisition was my game of the year many years ago. Just on curiosity's sake, I think perhaps Dragon Age Veilguard makes sense, even if I end up not liking it. But it's a strong possibility. Okay. So
I'm really surprised to hear that Dragon Age the Veilguard is getting so much skepticism put on it by the guy. I thought for sure that was a shoe-in for something he was playing this year, but now it sounds like he's not too sure. Very surprising. He loves fucking AAA EA slop, dude. He loves shilling out for BioWare and saying everything is not their fault after they made Anthem. It's his favorite.
There you go. I received a $2 tip. Thank you, guys. This is the first tip that I got in over an hour. So thank you for that. You scrolled by Kill Knight. It's probably the best game on the list. What is Kill Knight? I don't know what Kill Knight is. I'll scroll back up and look for it. I don't know what that is. Anyone know what Kill Knight is? I've never heard of it.
I also don't know what a Kill Knight is. This is also the first time I've heard of this.
Kill Knight?
It doesn't exist, stupid. You don't know what you're fucking talking about, dummy. Why are you talking about things that you know nothing about?
Kill Knight.
Ah, fuck, it's right there. Spoke too soon. Just trying to fill the dead air. The DSP was leaving me.
An ultra-responsive, arcade-inspired, isometric action shooter condemned to eternal sufferance deep within the void of an eldritch arena. You must wield an arsenal of devastating weaponry to obliterate swarms of otherworldly horrors and master the demon within. Oh, this looks like... This kind of looks like Hades.
Hades. Yes, let's go.
Does it not? Looks like Hades.
Yeah, it's a bullet hell style in a similar vein to Hades. Too, question mark?
Right? Because it looks like the same game, only with, demons instead of, like, Greek mythology. It's same premise, though, right? Oh, by the way, Amplitory, the $2 super chat says Barbie Project Friendship comes out on the 20th. Well, that I don't have to even mention because I'm playing it, right? Like, you know that I play every Barbie game.
Yeah, it looks like a 3D Vampire Survivors. So, I like that as a descriptor because it's kind of convoluted. Yo, big ups Vampire Survivors, though. Where's that stream, DSP? People want to see you walk.
To where you're supposed to be.
Because that's the whole game.
Oh, let's see here. So this Mario and Luigi Brothership is basically a remake, right? Isn't it? Or is it a new one?
It's a new one. This bozo doesn't even fucking know that Bowser's Inside Story and the second game were not this one, Brothership. He doesn't know this is a new game. Fucking idiot. It's like he didn't even play the other ones that I forgot the name of. What was the other one called?
No, I guess
it was Inside Story and what? I played it and I just don't remember.
It's been a long time since they made a game like this in the Mario and Luigi saga, right? I'll leave it open to a maybe. I don't know if you guys would want to see that or not. Someone had mentioned to me this ant game, Empire Ants, but isn't it more like a sim?
Empire of Ants? No fucking way he's thinking about playing Empire of Ants.
What the hell is that?
We need the mod tools for Empire of Ants so we can put it in the Snort for it office with all of the goon juice on the floor.
Slitterhead. Yeah, this is the game where basically Japan has been overrun with demons that are possessing people, and you're a creature.
I was back to the Mario and Luigi game. I was thinking about Partners in Time, but you guys are telling me that there's more than that. So apparently, I was also uninformed. I'd never heard about Superstar Saga or Dream Team. Those are new words to me.
Body.
But I was thinking about
off
Partners in Time.
The demons. It looks pretty unique. Yeah, the company that started Silent Hill and Gravity Rush. Yeah, it looks pretty unique to me. So this is definitely a possibility. Slitterhead is interesting to me. Okay.
Slitterhead sounds like a
Assassin's Creed Shadows. If I get it, I'm gonna do exactly what I did with Star Wars Outlaws. I
think it's because it's too close to that other one. Snood's favorite slur.
Because, man, I'm so happy that I did that with Star Wars Outlaws, which I played for one day, and we all were so bored to tears of the game that I never played it again, right? Also, it's hilarious that every game that I've played on PC since I got my gaming PC in early August has run well, except Star Wars Outlaws. That's the one game that was just not optimized, and it ran like crap no matter what I did. So, that's just funny to me. It's a giant effing company in Ubisoft, and they have no clue how to even make a game, right?
It's almost like they're a shit company that you should quit buying games from or something.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, I personally want to play. but I don't know if it will fit into the fall schedule. But that's something that's like my own personal preference. I love the Dragon Quest games, and I would love to play Dragon Quest 3 with all of you. I think it would be great.
Let's not say we didn't.
Let's see.
God, do you guys remember how bad his fucking Dragon Quest playthroughs were? Like, especially that Dragon Quest Builders. Do you remember how god awful those night streams were as he fucking begged for money every single day as low energy as possible? Hell yeah, dude.
Funko
What a time to
Fusion.
be alive.
So many people have been talking to me about this game. So many people have been saying you got to play Funko Fusion, right? I mean, there's Orko from He-Man. It's going to have so many tie-ins. Look, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Battlestar Galactica. Hot Fuzz. The Mummy. Nope. Back to the Future. Good Lord. Chucky. What the hell is this?
What? I'm
The
actually
Umbrella
curious as to
Academy?
what the
Oh, I
fuck
don't even
this
know what
is too.
Umbrella
I've never
Academy
heard of
is.
this until
That's why I
he
don't know what that
started
is.
mentioning it.
So
Who's
basically what
playing
it
the
is, it's gonna have
Funko
all
Pops
this pop
game?
culture references in it, right? That's coming out in November, apparently. Oh, look, they rated it a 4. It's dull combat and repetitive mission. Means just like your Funko Pop collection is probably best left on the shelf. Wow. They think it sucks.
Got him. Dunked on in the
There you go. I guess
review.
it's a no then. I don't know. Let's see here.
Yo,
Oh,
there it is!
definitely.
There it is! It's Stalker 2! I'm pointing at my screen right now. You guys can't see out of excitement. It's Stalker 2!
1,000,000%. We're going to get Flight Simulator 2024. Number one, you would think this would be on Game Pass, right? Probably. But, dude, we had so much fun with Flight Simulator a couple years ago during the summer. And I know this will be perfect for chill night streams, but imagine it's new. So it's going to look great.
Like, I swear to God, every fucking game we've talked about during the schedule, I know I keep pausing, don't yell at me. Every fucking game we've talked about during the schedule segment is like a chill, fun night stream style game. How many fucking night streams do you think you're having? You only get one a day, brother. You can't play this many fucking games on the night stream when you're playing video games for about an hour and a half at a time. None of this is going to be accomplished. It's all a waste.
On the PC, we're going to be playing the best version of this game. We're going to be flying all around the world, checking out all kinds of different things, and it's going to be so cool. People are going to be able to like to vote on like where you want to go next and stuff, which will be really neat. I think it's going to be a really fun game. Nice chill streams of it. Stalker 2 is a maybe for me. I never liked the original Stalker.
It's because you're a fucking idiot.
Don't want to see me try that.
Because you fucking suck at games. Put some respect on the name.
Hacked the Streamer. Of course I'm playing it. Now, I see now nothing has dates, so none of these actually are coming out in November. So honestly, November is much lighter than October as of now. So I would probably say maybe Mario and Luigi Brothership. Okay. Slitterhead. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Maybe Dragon Quest 3, but it may have to hold off. We'll see. And definitely Flight Simulator. And maybe Stalker 2.
Maybe Stalker 2. Right? It's literally going to be on Game Pass. You might as well just fucking play it.
Now, in December, there's very little right now with release dates, but I absolutely am going to be playing Marvel Rivals for a bit. I liked the beta that I played. I thought it was quite good, and I'm sure they're going to refine it and make it better by the time it comes out. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, yes, I'm going to be playing.
Wait, he passed right over Fitness Boxing 3, your personal trainer, dude. That sounds right up his alley. We need DSP boxing streams. That would be something. Then he could get into contact with his best friend, Keemstar, and set up a boxing match. Think about all the money we could make.
Playing that.
It's like he's not even trying to do his redemption arc any justice.
And that's really all that has release dates right now, right? So here's the thing. There's going to be ample opportunity during these time frames. If there's weeks with too few games, then I can actually do filler content like some of these remasters that I'm not playing right away. Dead Rising Remaster. I could do Epic Mickey Remaster, right? That would be the time to interject those kinds of filler games. I could always go back to games that I never finished. Like I told you guys, I'm eventually going to play Sea of Stars. I'm telling you, I am going to eventually
go
back
System
and play Sea
Shock?
of Stars.
What about Final Fantasy VII?
I definitely want to go back and play it.
What about really Dragon's Dogma?
Right? And also keep in mind, there'll be other content going on. I'm going to be trying to do some interviews, right? I might be doing some appearances on other people's shows. There may be opportunities for different things going on. All right?
All right. Sounds good.
Also, keep in mind, on Halloween, I do a Halloween marathon where I dress up in costume and play horror-themed games all day that you guys nominate. So that's definitely happening. And also keep in mind that Christmas, I do a marathon. And we do all themed games that you guys nominate. And I dress up in different Christmas sweaters. And we have food and drinking and all kinds of fun stuff. So all that stuff is still coming up this year. It's going to be great, okay?
And never forget what they took away from us last Christmas, and the fact that there was a poll to see what video games were going to be played during the Christmas marathon, and RimWorld was on there with single digits in percentage of votes. Could you have imagined DSP trying to wrap his head around RimWorld? I couldn't, and they took that from me by voting for Phasmophobia instead. Thank you.
I think this fall will be
Huge L on your behalf
PC,
because he barely even fucking played that game.
And like, for example, for the Halloween marathon, like, I've opened myself up to a whole new realm of games, all these PC games I never could play, and I'm sure you guys are going to nominate a ton of PC-centric horror games for me to play on Halloween, right? So it's going to be very neat. But I consider playing Terraria again. I don't even remember playing it the first time. So if we ever were to do like an indies event or something like that, yeah, absolutely.
DSP playing RimWorld would have been ultra boring. Yes, probably, but it would have been a personal thing that I wanted to see.
What's up, Game Boy? How you doing?
Therefore, I'm blaming everyone else for taking it from me.
All right, so hopefully that gave you guys an idea of what you can expect for at least like the rest of the year here. And the idea, you know, that's general. There's always other games I can play. The sky's the limit now because I have every console. I have a gaming PC. I can play whatever I want. All right. So the potential is there for many different games. It's just that's the general idea for the new releases coming out. I hope that you found some use out of that video because particularly someone had just requested that of me. Okay. All right. I have received a $5 tip. That is the biggest tip of the day from an anonymous tipper. When your gaming schedule isn't heavy, now that you have a PC that can handle it, would you consider doing VR games? I think that it would make for an entertaining stream. It would make Flight Simulator even better. The thing about VR games, which I've said this many times before, all right, there's two reasons why I don't dabble in VR.
He's out of shape. He doesn't have the space.
I did buy the PlayStation. Wow, this site is frozen. Play my animation? It actually did, but the site is frozen again. I don't know what's going on with this site. It's been so laggy recently.
It couldn't possibly be the 3 different browsers that he has open at all times on his ever-raging PC. It's the site's fault, of course.
I bought PSVR when it was new. Now, this was many years ago. PSVR was 2016, so it's like 8 years ago, right? And when PSVR came out, I actually really enjoyed it for about 2 months, all right? And I played a lot of different games. I played the Batman game. I played Job Simulator. I played the Until Dawn on-rail shooter. I played the game that was basically like a tech demo where you were underwater in a cage, a shark was coming at you, and then there was the heist where you're like doing a bank robbery, you're shooting and stuff. And I did a few more than that too. I can't remember all of them, but essentially, all right. Oh, I haven't updated the schedule in days, huh? Oops. I guess I should
my
update
fucking
that right
God!
now.
Somehow we found our way back to talking about the schedule.
Wow. I'll answer your question while I update the schedule. Okay.
Good luck with that. You ever seen this guy do 2 things at once? He's doing it right now.
So
look at him go. 2 things at once.
I liked it for about 2 months, but then what happened was the gimmick of it kind of wore off for me. Number one, wearing a VR headset at least 8 years ago, that PSVR headset was not super comfy at all. It was a little heavy, and it created this condensation and sweat inside that made your whole head sweat, and it was very uncomfortable. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I forgot DSP is one of those sick fucking weirdos who like profusely sweats and has everything, you know, fog over the second that he puts it on because his skin is just secreting so much heat, so much fluid that's the only way that it manages to work itself out.
It just wasn't
nasty, sick
to wear
fuck
for extended periods of time. Number two, certain games actually got me sick. I remember, I particularly remember this one game that was supposed to be like this artistic game about the world had ended and all that was left on the planet was like a bunch of mutated humans, and there were like the devil and God were still alive, but they were like symbolic. It was a really weird artistic game.
Or what are you talking about?
It was creepy and I liked it, but I kept getting sick playing it. Like I kept feeling like I had to barf. And I was like, dude, like why? I wonder if the games are better than that now. You know what I mean? All these years later, but it just wasn't like it wasn't worth what I was like, the money invested didn't really make sense compared to the games that I was playing. And by January, Resident Evil 7 came out. I played Resident Evil 7 and I loved it. And then I put on the VR headset and I played it in the VR headset for like an hour, 2 hours. And I was like, so the advantage is it's first person and you're aiming with your head by looking. And that's it. It feels like you're playing the same game. So it didn't really add too much new stuff to make it any much better. And at that point, I was like, I didn't really like it. Now, here's the thing.
Was moving his head in real life not a big enough addition? Like being able to control your camera in the real, or using, you know, real world changes to affect the game? Like, was that not enough of a gimmick for him? Would he wanted there to be entirely new gameplay features or something? That's a genuine question. I wanted to know what his expectation was. Because for most people, being able to not use the camera via a controller is kind of insane to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're right, Infamous. That's the point. The game isn't supposed to be any different in VR, I would imagine. Just that you're supposed to be more immersed because you're literally there, in a sense.
Okay, I think I got the schedule. Let me save it. I think the schedule should be correct now. My apologies because I haven't updated the schedule in many days because I wasn't checking it because my PC had that issue on Friday with Discord, and then I didn't even have the window open. But I think the schedule should be correct now if you want to try it again. So what was I saying? Oh, VR.
I don't know.
After that whole VR thing, what happens is in 2017, I became a full-time streamer. So now it's not just about me making offline videos anymore. It's about me having an interactive audience where I can talk with you and do shout outs and have conversation. And that's a major part of most of the content that I make. There's a couple exceptions where I'll play certain games that are like super, super like attention grabbing, or I have to focus on the game solely. But let's be honest, for the most part, everything I do is more social and interactive now. If I have a giant VR headset on my head,
yes,
right?
I'm following.
And I'm immersed in a game in first person. How could I ever see you guys talk with you or do shout outs? I just couldn't.
They do literally make plugins for this. Now, I can't speak solely to the PSVR because I don't have that or a PlayStation at all. But if you were to get a PC-centric VR kit, they make plugins for that. They make it so that you could read the chat like by pressing a button or looking down at your wrist or however they do it. They definitely do it, and it's possible. It's just a fucking excuse because he doesn't want to look into actually doing anything more complicated than hitting go live every day.
Right? Now, some have said, oh, well, some of them have the ability to have the chat on your screen. Well,
there you go.
That, but number one, tips don't come through chat. Number two, that kills the VR experience. That's like what's the point, right? So I just haven't found that.
What the fuck do you mean, what's the point? Because you would have to look outside of the VR glass every once in a while. That would give you time to aerate the condensation that's forming on your little glasses. That would give you time to cool off your sweaty, greasy fucking pork face. What are you talking about? Does pausing the game defeat the purpose of playing a game to you? I wouldn't think so, but following your logic, it would be.
VR would really be anything that would fit into my content these days, right? And to be quite frank,
shout out Frank.
There have now been how many types of VR? You got your PSVR, your PSVR 2, you got your Meta Quest, you got your, what's the other big one? There's the other big one for PC too, and I can't remember exactly what it is. Right?
You have the Vive and the Index.
But all of them have all these games. Is there a single killer app for VR that you can think of that has been a must-play experience that I have missed because I'm not doing VR? Right? Do you think of a single?
That's such a loaded question too. Like, what are you fucking asking here? It depends on whether or not you like that game, whether or not you value a VR experience the same way others do. And it sounds like you don't. So you're not ever going to get an answer from anybody that's going to be satisfactory. You're just wasting everybody's time.
One. I mean, arguably the only game that anyone has ever really said, oh, this is the one, was Half-Life Alyx.
Which you guys are saying in chat right now.
Every other game is like,
I never played that one.
It's all right. And that's it. So would it have been worth it for me to buy all this?
Yeah, I enjoyed Beat Saber, Super Hot. I enjoyed fucking Blade and Sorcery. I thought those were all fun.
Man, get it working.
I didn't like Boneworks,
now I can't interact
personally.
With my chat to do this playthrough of one game. Boneworks. I don't know what Boneworks is. A couple people have now said Boneworks, but I've never even heard of that. And that's the point I'm making. If VR games had actually made it to the realm of games that are so good that they're getting nominated for Game of the Year, that they're getting rated incredibly highly, then I'd be like, dude, I am missing out because I'm not doing VR. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm actually cheating myself of great gameplay experiences because I'm not doing VR. So I need VR.
So this guy's excuse is that these games aren't getting rated high enough for him to give a shit. They have to be winning Game of the Year before he can bother to care about VR. That's what he just said. You could just say you don't want to fucking play it, bro. You don't have to come up with 100 excuses on the fly like this. Just say you don't want to. It's not that big a deal.
Completely the opposite, right? It really has been, where VR is always the fringe thing, the thing on the outside that it's there if you want to do it, but it's just not a big deal. It needs more equipment. It needs a better setup. It needs to have a different kind of thing going on than what I do. So it's like, is it really worth it? No. Maybe if that changes, if killer apps do come out, right? And there's great games that I'm literally missing, and I can't believe that Phil would skip this game when he loves games like us. It hasn't happened. VR has remained a fringe thing. And it's funny because when VR was being pushed so hard by games journalism 8 years ago, when PSVR was coming out and everything, oh, it's the wave of the future, it's going to change everything. And I said to everyone, bullshit, I don't buy it, but I'll try it myself.
Hang on. So, he said to everyone, heh. I want to catch
everything,
that.
And I said to everyone, bullshit and everything. Oh, it's the wave of the future, it's going to change everything. And I said to everyone, bullshit, I don't buy it, but I'll try it myself. So I did. And I dabbled. I put my toe in the lake. And I said, ooh, it actually feels pretty good. But as my foot got used to being in the lake, it just wasn't that special anymore. And I realized it was just a gimmick that wears out fast.
But you could have said the same thing about video games at one point. As the consoles continued and they began to look better and people began, and normies began to play them, you absolutely could have been one of the people to play video games and then go, oh, these are all the same thing. I'm not overly impressed. They're just, the novelty is wearing off, and that's that. And you could have went on and done your normal real life things like a lot of people do. If that's the mentality that you want to have, you absolutely fucking can. It has nothing to do with VR in this instance.
I don't really think there's too many game developers out there that are working on big VR games. They know that it's a very tiny niche market. And
isn't the guy who created Doom, not the one with the long hair, but the other one, doesn't he exclusively work on VR and VR software now? Isn't Boneworks like a company that works exclusively in progressing VR technology as well and making games in VR work optimally as possible? Isn't that their whole fucking thing? Like, yeah, it's still kind of a niche, but let's not sit here and pretend like there aren't big companies working on it. For fuck's sake, Steve Steam put in how much fucking money to create Half-Life Alyx and the Steam Index? And we're just going to pretend like it's nobody's working on it. Nobody cares about this technology.
Even if they make an insanely good game that not very many people are ever going to buy it, right? So why even bother investing your time and money and effort into a big VR game that most people will never care about or play? So I think that's what happened. And it's sad because maybe if it was treated a little differently, maybe if the market was a little different, I don't know. Maybe
you guys are saying John Carmack is not working on VR anymore.
It exists, but does anyone clamor for it or get hyped for it? Or no, like literally no, right? Tell me what game right now, VR game, is coming out in the next few months that everyone must play and we'll be talking about.
Yo, what was that VR game that looks like actual like cam footage of it looks like body cam footage? You know the one I'm talking about, that looks like super realistic murder simulator? Yeah, that's the one. That's next up on the games to play list.
It's just kind of a thing, And again, I'm not trying to hate on it or anything at all. I just don't see it being a big deal or something that I need to really dabble in until there's something worth playing and I'm not aware of it, right?
I thought Body Cam was that other game on Steam. Or is that the same game? And I've
Valve has one called Valve Index as well. I know there's the big three. The big three are PSVR, Meta, or MetaQuest, and the other one, because the other one is the one that you don't have to have worse graphics. Like MetaQuest is standalone, but the graphics are terrible. Remember, we were watching the video
Oh, this is that game, but it's
the new
multiplayer
Ribbon
now? I don't want to
version, the
fucking play a
remake that I just
multiplayer
played.
game.
Remember we were watching the video of it, the VR versions, and it was like, here's the standard
Whack.
version with great graphics, and the game looks absolutely amazing. And then here's the MetaQuest version, and it looks like you're playing on like PS2.
Whack. But it game's not even a VR game.
So do you really want to play
Okay.
VR to be virtual reality first person, awful, you know, watered down, no detailed graphics? Probably not. Valve is being rumored to make another one. Oh, okay. All right, so guys, we're almost done. FYI, I got to be out of here within 5 to 10 minutes because I got to go set up for the React show. So what I'll say is this. Thanks. You've been a great audience. If you haven't noticed, this was a very chill podcast today, right? No
Super
drama.
chill.
Had a good time. We have 114
no
likes, guys.
hostility, no negativity, all positive. All
but
positive
in the next few
chill
minutes, that would be
here.
amazing. That would help the channel because this is the only content I'm putting up on the channel today, so that would help. Thank you for the few who super chatted. We don't have any memberships today, sadly. And we're only at $10 in tips. So this is a really slow start. All right. Now, King Street, been great. It's been amazing. It's helped me tremendously. It has. I would like to keep it going. If it continues, I can continue to do things that will help me out.
Up,
for example, these things that I've told you about.
$10 is a bad look.
You know, later this month, when I get paid by YouTube, my wife and I are going to go look for things like a dishwasher, a new fan and light for our dining room because our light ripped out of the ceiling the other day. So we need a new one. Eventually probably looking for like a new washer dryer, things for the house we need because we can afford it, right? And I want to actually
I would tell everybody
setup. One of the things
he needs a new washer and dryer because his washer's telling him uneven load when he loads it in. That's a user error. If I don't know how many of you are avid household operators, but if you do your own laundry, you might be familiar with the fact that if you overload the laundry or you load it in an uneven way, it might give you an uneven load error, in which case you just need to open it up, spread out the materials, and then put it back in, and usually it's fine. But no, we need a whole new washer and dryer to solve this issue, of course.
As I said, is instead of migrating over to my wife's now 7-year-old outdated PC, instead maybe I could just buy a whole new streaming PC. And that could be what I stream and capture from, and then I could use the gaming PC to game. You know what I mean? But the momentum has been tremendous, and I want to keep it going. If you enjoyed this show today, if you had a good time, please support it. And, you know, right now, the best way to do that would be tipping. All right? Tip.
All right.
Let's hit this goal. Let's keep the King Streak going. And then we can celebrate. And, you know, I don't want to have to bring it up the entire stream over there on DSP Reacts. You know, the last few weeks, during the React streams, we usually hit a big chunk of that goal before we go to the React show. Today we're $10 in. So, you know, it would be great right now in the last few minutes. We can get some contributions. That would help a lot. So now the villain says, what about a vacation? Vacation's not in the cards right now for a couple of reasons. Okay. Reason number one, my wife and her work schedule and everything is crazy right now. We don't even know consistently when she's working, how much she's working. It's kind of a mess. It's a jumbled mess. It's not a happy mess at all.
Does he think that you plan vacations around when your schedule naturally allows you to leave instead of just taking days off? Like I know he hasn't worked a job in a long time, but typically if you go in, you just tell them, hey, in, 3 months, I'm going to be taking a week off. Don't fucking contact me. Don't fucking schedule me. And usually that's enough, even if it's unpaid, which hers would be because she doesn't work full time. But even if it's unpaid, like that's still a vacation, and that's how that needs to go. You're not going to fit in a vacation in the 2 days off a week she has or whatever. I don't know how he functions as a real life adult like this. About that.
It's just life, right? It's how life works. That's number one. Number two, we couldn't really go on a vacation because of Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty has always been with us since we got him. There's been no significant time away from Jasper Kitty, and he's afraid of other people. Like when people come over to do maintenance on the house or whatever, he freaks out and he runs away and he hides under the bed. He's very friendly with us and nobody else. He's literally scared of everybody else.
He doesn't have to be friendly with anybody. If you literally have your fucking neighbor come over and fill the cat bowl and fill the water bowl, you can be fucking gone. The cat doesn't have to come out and hang out with whoever's taking care of it that day because that person only needs to stop in for about 2 fucking minutes. What are you talking about, bro? They don't need to be best friends. It's a cat.
Let's go on a vacation for 2 weeks and we go, and poor Jasper Kitty now
It's poor
gets
Jasper Kitty's fault. I can't get a
traumatized
vacation, you
because we're away for
guys.
2 weeks and someone else has to take care of it. We'd probably have to go to one of those board things. You could shelter your cat for a couple weeks, but
Oh
that's
my
not. He's
fucking
used to being in a
god. Are we for real right now? DSP is actually the type of motherfucker to look into having his cat sat somewhere else while he's on vacation instead of just having his neighbor come over and fill the fucking bowl. That's crazy, dude. No wonder
open
he's broke
house
as fuck.
all day long, right? So that's not going to work. He's going to be, it's going to mess him up. So
What in the goddamn?
in that regard, I think if we were to ever do a vacation, like to be honest, yeah, it would be great to finally have a honeymoon. But I don't think we could do it right now. I think that's something that's long term. You know what I mean? Like
that's a long term plan. You know what I mean?
I mean, in a time of transition, that maybe we could squeeze it in or something.
So a bunch of the games that we were looking at today, they have to wait till chill night stream style games, but that's going to be robust and meaningful. And also the cat is gonna, or the vacations are also gonna have to wait.
Makes sense, but right now it's just not in the cards.
Right now it's just not in the cards.
What could be in the cards?
A lot of waiting, actually.
Makes sense, but right now.
Sorry for the double.
A staycation. And what I mean by that would be,
oh,
let's say this
level
of support that I've been getting, the increase in super chats and memberships and tips, it keeps going, for months. Right now, it's been about a month. Okay, if it continues,
I'm a god.
Then I'm like, wait,
how can you kill a god?
Week off to stay
what
home
a grand and intoxicating innocence.
For ages, we could have a day where we just go out and we do some shopping and we get a nice dinner together. And we're not worried about, we have to rush to this appointment. We have to go grocery shopping today. We have to do this stupid chore. Instead, it's just several days where we get to spend time together, right? Work on stuff. And my garage is a mess. My garage, I've wanted to clean out years, and I just don't have time. You actually clean out the garage and repurpose it to have room to do things, right?
So let me see if I'm tracking this right. This guy is saying that he couldn't go on a vacation because of Jasper. But instead, he wants to go on a staycation in his own house where he's going to be cleaning the garage. I don't think that sounds like a vacation. You could just clean your garage, you don't have to do a whole, staycation style segment about it. You could just clean the motherfucker and call it a day. I don't know. And also, doing a staycation in your own fucking house doesn't make any sense. You mean to tell me that your girl is not going to go to work? She's not going to be paid for those days so that she could continue to sit on her fat, lazy ass and not do anything? Come on, man. Come on.
With my wife,
there's just no point.
That's important to me, and that's something I never get. Right? So maybe that could be what it is having actual time off from streaming for several days to spend time with my wife would be amazing, because we don't get to do that, and we finally
they never get to spend time together, except for every night where he spends about 5 hours after the stream's over.
The first steps that we're talking about are the necessities that we've had things broken,
because they're not going to sleep till like fucking 3 a.m.
So I think the dishwasher has been broken for 2 years. That's probably a big thing. That's probably number one, and then after that we systematically pick at other things around the house here and here, and go from there. So but anyway, yeah, please support the streams, guys. It's helped so much, and we keep that rolling. It's going to be amazing. It's like I said, it really can be life-changing if it continues. So
it can be life-changing, but it hasn't been yet, despite receiving $4,000 on the one stream that he did with Kino Casino, and from the numbers that I've seen in the chat today, him having made about $10,000 recently from the King streak and whatnot. But the money could be life-changing. He could do something with it, maybe. $10,000.
Thank you to Daniel United 115, a €10 super chat. Says, would you give Alien Rogue Incursion a go, even if it's on VR? Again, I said I'm not interested in VR. I haven't heard of many games that are worth playing, so I don't think that VR makes sense. And plus, it would mean ignoring my audience. So unless it's not VR, probably not. If it was not VR, right? Then yes, perhaps, right?
Thanks for explaining that you don't want to play a VR game. You could have just said that. If it is a VR game, I won't play it. But if it's not, then I will. Great. Awesome. Perfect.
I never played Flappy Bird, no. The only version of Flappy Bird I ever played is that I guess whoever bought the rights to it turned it into an arcade game, and I actually played the arcade game of Flappy Bird.
Okay,
But
so you
that's
played
it. I
fucking
never actually
Flappy
had it on my
Bird.
phone or played the real game. Back in the day when it was, I remember when
I
that
hate
drama
this
was going
guy,
down on the internet.
man.
The guy freaked out, the developer completely freaked out. Said, "That's it. I'm not making any more updates or nothing. I quit."
Guys, I've never done this thing
Too
except
stressful,
for
I
all
didn't
of those
sign up
times
for
that I
it. Yeah,
did. Of
he
course,
totally freaked out.
ignore those though.
All right. Last chance. Tag me in the chat if you want to talk. Any
Last
contributions that come
chance.
in, we'll get quick shout
Here
outs.
we go.
But
Please
I'm
no
now
one
getting
tag
set
him in the
up.
chat. We can all go home. Think about all of the meaningful and robust things you
for
could
the
be
React
doing.
show.
All he's got to do
And
is end
that's
the
why they
stream.
all hate me. They can't. And that's why they can't stand me. That's correct. They just can't stand that I'm getting set up for the React show. They, it really bothers them.
All right.
Playlist.
That was the end of the joke. All right.
Hello, Wildcats.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Hello,
Yo, the deep
Wildcats.
fryer with
That's
the
the ultimate
5.
version.
It's a cat. Pay the neighbor kids $50 to feed the
What a
cat and clean the litter box. I'm sure that there's a teenager who needs gas money. Absolutely, dude. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in his small knit gated community that he lives in, he should be able to talk to these people or at least know them enough, especially the ones that literally live in the same triplex as him. He should be cordial enough with them that they would be willing to feed the or to fill the bowls of food and water and clean the litter box for a couple of days while he's gone as a nicety to their neighbor who's been living there for ages now, about a decade. I don't know how he's I would imagine that he's wronged them so much so with the stink and bug infestation though that they don't want to deal with him. So, and then movie sign with the 5 says, "Give me money for a vacation, you dents. Remember, my money problems are your money problems." Ack, ack, ack. I added the ack, ack, ack. Thank you for the 5. Absolutely. That's what he sounds like, dude. Everything in his life needs to be crowdfunded. And if you're not willing to support, then get the fuck out, brother. He needs to hit the king streak. Of course.
What a clip to play first. That's amazing. Anyway. Okay. This is going to be random select when we play it. This is going to not be random. Okay.
You're right. A guy with long hair. What did he do with Jasper when he went to go get
I think
married?
we already watched this video.
They had Jasper at that
did
point,
watch
didn't
this
they?
video. Oh, man. This guy probably doesn't realize we already watched this video. Well, I'll have to explain that during the show. Okay. If GTA 6 get a significant enhancement with PS5 Pro, would I buy the new console? I still don't know. I don't know. Is it worth it to buy a whole console for one game?
He
Like I
said
said,
Kat
if
had
somebody
a
came out
friend
and was
come
like,
and feed
"The PS5
Jasper while
Pro's
they
coming
were
out
out in
this
Connecticut
fall,
getting
and by the
married.
way, here's an amazing.
Then just have that fucking person come back. Tell Jim to come back and feed the cat, and you can go on your vacation to Japan or wherever. That sounds totally reasonable.
lineup
Why is
and
that not an
slew of
option
games
now?
that are going to utilize this thing right away that you need it for. Then maybe I get it, but it's like they haven't said a word. GTA 6 is over a year out, right? Like at the earliest, it's late 2025. And what other games are you going to be playing exclusives on PS5 Pro that you need it? That, there's games you've already played that are going to be like enhanced. That's not a big deal, right? All cross-platform games I'll be playing on my PC, which runs better than PS5 Pro. So I don't see the reason to get it right now. I almost feel like it's a wait situation, and then
He's gonna get one.
games are announced that are
I
coming
don't
out
have a
that
doubt
need
in my
it,
mind
then
he's
I can
getting a
get it then,
PS5 Pro.
because it'll probably be readily available. At first, I'm actually curious about this. I think what's going to happen is it's going to sell out right away because the scalpers are going to buy them all up again, just like the PS5s. But I don't think that the scalpers are going to be able to sell them all because people aren't going to want it. The demand's not going to be there. So then after that, they're going to be stuck with a million of these things like idiots. They're going to have to try to figure out a way to get rid of them. But what people aren't realizing is this is not COVID anymore. Okay? In COVID time,
People hang.
we had
Okay,
issues
go ahead. I'm
where
gonna let him
people
cook.
could not get the content, right? Or get the
The console.
the components. That's what I meant to say. They
Oh,
couldn't get the
okay.
components
All
to
right.
make the PlayStation 5, so there were shortages. There's no more shortages anymore. So
There's no
Sony, if
more
they need to make
shortages
we'll just make
anymore.
more
No
if the
supply
demand is there. So
shortages
I don't
anywhere in
think
the
that the whole
world.
scalper thing will even work with the PS5 Pro.
We got minerals
besides the
falling out of
initial
our
launch
ass.
window.
We make
That's about
anything,
it.
actually.
So I'm not really too worried about that anymore. I think I'll be able to buy it whenever I want. So let's say in the middle of 2025, there's going to be a PS5, a new PS5
Something
game that's gonna
ironic
run much
about
better on
Mr. Bankruptcy saying that he's going to be able to buy a $700 console whenever he wants just tickles me pink.
on PS5 Pro, then I can just go buy it, right? But do I really need to get it in November when it comes out? Like, what's the benefit? I'm not even going to play any games on it. I'm going to be playing everything on PC. So why do I need it?
That's my question. Why I think it's stupid you're going to
There you
wind
go.
up getting one. But
Exactly. Syndicator
You
says,
are.
they said 40 games will be enhanced and that PS4 games will have boost. Yes, but the point I'm making is none of those are new games. I've already played them all. I'm not going to play them. You see? The games that will benefit are games that are old that I've already played, so I'm not replaying them just because I have a PS5 Pro now, you know? I received a $2.13 tip.
that puts him at $12 in
Did you ever
case you're
play
wondering.
Street
I know
Fighter
you
in an
can't
actual
see it
arcade
right
when
now.
you were in Seattle or somewhere? And did you ever play Another Human at arcades recently? The last time I went to an arcade was pre-COVID, if I remember correctly.
And pictures were taken, in case
They
you
didn't
guys
have
haven't
Street
seen
Fighter,
the
they had
pictures of
Tekken,
him
and I
and
think I
Cat
played
at the
Tekken
mall,
at an
going to the
against
arcade.
somebody ages ago. But that's it. Like, no, I haven't been to there's no arcades with fighting games or anything around here, and nor would I go to one. I'm not really interested in it. All right, guys.
All
That's it
right.
for the show.
Let's
Chill show
go.
today, right? Very different than the norm. I hope that you guys enjoyed.
I didn't.
And thanks. Leave feedback, obviously, on the video here. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Hopefully these
all
segments
right.
were good. What I'll do is I'll
Just-
probably pop out
Oh, I was gonna leave a dislike, but this is Raw Phil stream. I like Raw Phil.
highlights. One will be us checking out the quality of the shirts, and one will be gaming schedule update for those interested. And just thanks in general. I think it was a great show. More relaxed today, right? We didn't have to worry about drama nonsense and idiocy and stupidity. Instead, it was just a nice time together, and I had a good time with you all. All right, now remember, no gameplay today. Right now, we're going to head over to DSP React, so stick around. You'll see the thing. It'll say, hey, click over to get over there, and you can do that. And then tonight, we're going to chill over on DSP Throwback with the nice
All
Retro
right.
React Resident Evil
Hurry up,
1
DSP.
stream. That's gonna be
Wrap it
fun.
up.
Tomorrow, we get back to full-time gameplay with Warhammer, okay?
All
right. Thank you,
sounds good.
guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks to those who did support. And I will see you all over on DSP Reacts, or I will see you tomorrow for another fun edition of a One Podcast. Peace out, everybody.
Just like that, we're done here. Pre-stream's over, folks. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me during the pre-stream. Thank you for showing up on your Sundays. Sorry I'm not doing the react. I have other things to do, but I had fun. Until we next speak, I'm going to go work on a video, hopefully. Goodbye. Stay safe.